Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Sign into the Hyperion at the start, the goddess seeks to team up. Chapter 1. Parallel World, Population Explosion. Fortunately, interstellar navigation technology has tended to be in a perfect state. Everyone can choose to buy an interstellar spaceship to start their own Shanghai exploration career after reaching adulthood. For today's young people, there is nothing more romantic than devoting themselves to the sea of stars. In the Moonstar Harbor at the moment, many young people are standing on the ship platform, in high spirits. Wait for me for a few years, no matter what, I have to mix up a planet lord to come back. Come on, you just return the planet lord. Don't be swallowed by the Shanghai beast. My goal is not high, I can join a small fleet and come back. It will be good to be seen by a certain Star Sea Alliance. For this Shanghai voyage, I have been preparing for 10 years, and I will definitely stand out. Su Yan walked on the platform and looked at the bloody crowd around. Even him, his heart is hot now. Several years have passed since crossing into this world. In this world, human beings' exploration of the Sea of Stars has just started. The endless Sea of Stars is like an unknown treasure house opening its arms to the newborn human beings. No one knows what will happen to you after you leave the solar system. When someone encounters a paradise planet without a master, he immediately becomes a glorious planet lord, and he becomes an existence under one person and more than 10,000 people. There are also people who have just stepped out of the solar system and encountered interstellar pirates. After being captured, they will be slaves in the interstellar mines for the rest of their lives. Shanghai represents endless opportunities and endless dangers. At this moment, an exclamation came from this Star Harbor area. Su Yan followed the sound and looked over, only to see a woman in a tight space suit walking towards him. Under the outline of the tight space suit, her graceful figure is unobstructed. However, the aura around this woman made everyone dare to look from afar and dare not approach. Wow, what a beautiful girl, look at her figure. Shish, you don't want to live anymore. That is the daughter of Lord Tianyangxing, Yun Qinghan. She is the campus goddess of our Shanghai University. I heard that her father prepared a B-class starship for her for this interstellar voyage. B-class starship, does it start so high? I've worked hard to save money for more than 10 years, and I can only buy one E-class starship. In Blue Star's market, starships are divided into F-class to SSS class according to their strength. Even the cheapest F-class starships cost millions of stars to get started. As for the price of starships above B-level, it is an existence that they dare not even think about. Some people are born at the end, and those of us estimate that it is difficult to buy a B-class starship after mixing for decades. It would be great if I could become Yun Qinghan's crew. A B-class starship in the Sea of Stars is much safer than those F-class small broken ships. Come on, how much do you think you are? The minimum standard for recruiting crew members on Yun Qinghan's ships is to have a certificate of ability of B-level or above. If I had a B-level ability certificate, I would have followed by now. Ability credentials refer to a series of technologies required for interstellar navigation, such as interstellar driving technology, ship engineering repair technology, and space nutritionists. After a normal college student graduates, it is almost enough to have a C-level competency certificate. Holders of Class B ability certificates are estimated to be found only in those guilds. Everyone also sighed, and it seemed that the goddess ship was not ready to board. But at this moment, they saw Yun Qinghan walking straight towards a man. Su Yan, do you want to get on my ship? Be my crew member. What's the situation? This man, no matter how you look at it, is a fresh graduate. What is his ability to let the captain of a B-class starship personally invite him to be a crew member? The people around are also a little surprised. Is there anything special about this young man? At this time, a yellow-haired man came over in disbelief. Yun Qinghan, I'm a B-class spaceship pilot, you don't even like me. Don't you look down on me now that you invite a hairy boy. Why can this kid get on your boat? Is he handsome? A few people around were also a little unconvinced. They were all crew members who had previously requested Yun Qinghan to recruit. After being rejected by Yun Qinghan, they were also looking for the next captain here. And at this moment, Yun Qinghan said indifferently, he is the pilot of the A-class starship, are you? What, is this kid a Class A starship pilot? Su Yan coughed dryly, and then said to the yellow-haired man next to him, "Although I admit that I have some good looks, I believe that Captain Yun should be interested in my talent. Graduated from Shanghai University with the first grade in the school, and also has A-class starship driving certificate, A-class starship maintenance engineering certificate, A-class starship combat certificate. How is this possible? He is not even 20 years old." The people around couldn't help but take a deep breath. An A-level skill certificate takes at least 5 years for a normal person to obtain. This kid has so many skill credentials just during college. Is he a monster? Yun Qinghan also took a fancy to Su Yan's talent. A crew member with multiple A-level skill certificates was a sweet treat there. Even Yun Qinghan heard that the Sun Alliance had invited Su Yan to join the Sun Alliance, but Su Yan refused. For such rumors, Yun Qinghan naturally did not believe it. Because she knows very well that the Sun Alliance is a powerful organization composed of several powerful planet lords. If the Sun Alliance invites me, I will definitely choose to join. Yun Qinghan looked at Su Yan again. "Su Yan, are you willing to be my crew member?" Everyone next to him thought Su Yan would agree. After all, Yun Qinghan's family has a big business, and the start is a B-class starship. What can be refused? At this moment, the voice of the system appeared in Su Yan's mind. "Check-in location detected. Moonstar Harbor. Do you want to sign in?" Unexpectedly, at this time, my own system actually jumped out. The reason why Su Yan has so many A-level skill certificates is because he has this God-level sign-in system. After each check-in at a location, Su Yan will receive a random reward. Su Yan decisively chose to sign in. "Sign in successfully. Congratulations on your successful acquisition of the S-class ship Hyperion. I was in need of a suitable ship for interstellar voyage, and after checking in so many times, it was finally shipped. Sorry, let me refuse to be your crew. Reject." Yun Qinghan was stunned for a moment. She really couldn't think of why Su Yan would choose to reject her. Isn't the reason why he appeared here to prepare for interstellar voyage? I own a B-class starship. In today's starport, which captain's ship has a higher rank than myself? The people around were also stunned. Su Yan actually refused the invitation of a B-class captain. If it was them, they would be willing to go up and clean the deck. Can you give me a reason for rejection? Yun Qinghan couldn't accept it. She didn't want to lose an excellent A-level technician. Therefore, after careful consideration, Yun Qinghan also asked Su Yan why he refused. And Su Yan also touched her nose. "I have my own starship." Just kidding. Be the captain of an S-class ship, and be the crew of a B-class ship. Anyone whose brain is not broken will make the same choice as Su Yan. And when these words fell in Yun Qinghan's ears, Yun Qinghan couldn't help but feel a bit of annoyance in his heart. You know, Su Yan usually lives in Shanghai University very restrained, like a rich man at all. Funds from him to buy starships. For an ordinary person to buy a starship during college, it is simply a fantasy. At this time, Huang Yang, the captain of the D-class starship, Wang Shen, also came over. Huang Yang is also a child of a wealthy family. For this interstellar voyage, he also spent a lot of money to buy a D-class starship. Goddess Yun, can't you hear it? This kid doesn't look down on your starship and is looking for an excuse to reject you. He's a poor boy, and if he can afford an F-class starship, he has won the lottery. Su Yan glanced at Huang Yang with a contemptuous smile. This guy named Huang Yang, Su Yan knew very well that he was just one of Yun Qinghan's many suitors. Seeing that he was rejecting Yun Qinghan, he wanted to come over and step on him to highlight his own merits. And Yun Qinghan obviously listened to Huang Yang's words. After all, everyone knew Su Yan's economic strength. Su Yan, if you want to reject me, you can say it directly. Even Yun Qinghan didn't believe that Su Yan could afford a starship. Su Yan spread his hands. I do have a starship, and I plan to do interstellar voyages by myself. At this time, Huang Yang was also on the sidelines. Since you said you have a starship, where is the starship? Huang Yang chuckled. This is the Moon Starport, and it is also the largest starport in the solar system. Those who are about to embark on interstellar voyages will all start from here. Now that everyone's starship is here, where is Su Yan's starship? The people around also showed a look of good drama. Even if Su Yan has a starship of his own, can his starship compare to Lin Shing's? That is a B-class ship. To get a B-class ship requires not only huge funds, but also a very important background. And Su Yan lifted the tech watch on his wrist, and the tech watch also displayed Su Yan's attribute panel. Name, Su Yan. Race, humans of the solar system. Psionic value, 100 100ths. Power, 12. Physique, 10. Spirit, 20. Skills, A-class ship driving technology, A-class ship engineering maintenance technology, A-class ship combat technology. Holding ship, S-class Hyperion. System, where is my starship? Su Yan was also curious about how her Hyperion would appear. After all, this is the Moon Star Harbor. If an S-class starship appears out of thin air, it will definitely be tracked down by the Sun Alliance. At this time, the system also gave Su Yan an answer. Answer to the host, the starship has appeared in the no man's land of the solar system, and is preparing for the transition at the moment, and it is expected to arrive at the Moon Star port in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, Su Yan was quite satisfied with the explanation of the system. In this case, the S-class ships that appeared out of thin air would not attract the attention of the Sun Alliance. At this time, seeing that Su Yan was silent, Huang Yang thought he had pierced Su Yan's lie. What? Where's your starship? Enough. Since you don't want to be my crew member, let's meet Shanghai again. Yun Qinghan couldn't stand Huang Yang's ridicule, so he directly interrupted the farce. When leaving, Yun Qinghan glanced at Su Yan. Su Yan didn't seem to take Huang Yang's ridicule to heart at all. Was he looking at his tech watch? It really looks like a captain who is waiting for his ship to land. Yun Qinghan sighed. Originally she still had a good impression of Su Yan. But after this incident, Yun Qinghan's goodwill towards him was completely dissipated. At this moment, Huang Yang also glanced at Yun Qinghan who was leaving. Boy, don't make your face fat. Starships are not something that a poor boy like you can have. Your wealth, the interstellar pirates will shake their heads when they see it. But at this moment, a burst of radio suddenly sounded from the lunar port. Attention, S-class ships are entering the port, please pay attention to avoidance of ships in the port. Attention, S-class ships are entering the port, please pay attention to avoidance of ships in the port. Attention, S-class ships are entering the port, please pay attention to avoidance of ships in the port. After 3 consecutive notifications, everyone in the lunar port boiled. S-class ships. In the entire solar system, the existence of S-class ships is enough to be regarded as rare. An S-class ship is not only expensive to build, but is basically the flagship vehicle of the Planet Lord level. Could it be that there is a powerhouse at the level of a Planet Lord? Everyone couldn't help but look towards the port, only to see a magnificent and powerful figure slowly entering the port. Compared with the behemoth in front of him, the ship next to him is completely as small as a model. The battlecruiser Hyperion has arrived at the lunar port. In order to allow the Hyperion to drive normally, the system has automatically equipped it with 1,000 Marvin robots as crew members. Yun Qinghan was also stunned. She originally thought that her Red Flame, as a B-class ship, was already the most beautiful boy in this star port. Who knows, the sudden arrival of the Hyperion is like an air fortress standing in front of them. At this time, Su Yan looked at Huang Yang and said lightly, my ship has arrived, how? As soon as these words came out, everyone in Xingang focused on Su Yan. He said, this ship is his. My starship has arrived. Su Yan looked at Huang Yang on the side, and at this time, Huang Yang glanced at the Hyperion and then at Su Yan. The next second, Huang Yang looked at Su Yan as if he looked at the god of plague. Those who can own such an S-class ship are either rich or expensive. Maybe it is a big figure in the Star Alliance. Su Yan so arrogantly said that this is his ship, which is tantamount to offending the owner of this ship. Su Yan, you are crazy. This is an S-class ship. Those who hold S-class ships in the entire solar system are either planet lords or senior officials of the Sun Alliance. Even if you brag, there is a limit. If you offend the owner of this ship, no one can protect you. Huang Yangbren was stupid. I didn't expect that at this time. Su Yan actually said that this S-class ship belonged to him. Does he understand the gold content of S-class ships? At this time, everyone around could not help but stay away from Su Yan. They don't want to be affected. This kid really dares to say that it is an S-class ship. The person who owns this ship must have a strong background. Hey, why have I never seen this S-class ship? Is there a new planet lord returning to the solar system? No matter who it is, that kid named Su-yan is finished. There must be a limit to bragging. How can an S-class ship be owned by a poor kid like him? I don't even dare to think like this in my daydreams. I'm afraid this kid is not crazy. Su-yan's current behavior is tantamount to a lunatic pointing at a planet and saying that the planet is his. Ridiculous. At this time, even Lin Shing hurried over and stopped Su-yan immediately. Su-yan, are you crazy? This is an S-class ship. Even if you brag, you have to have a limit. But at this moment, Su-yan looked blank. My ship is this S-class ship. Crazy. Su-yan is this crazy. Just then, the hatch of the Hyperion slammed open. For a time, everyone in the lunar port could not help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. I don't know what is the origin of the owner of this S-class ship. Lin Ching also glanced at Su-yan. Is this guy crazy? Now, even she can't save Su-yan. The hatch opened wide, and then, a large number of Marvin robots lined up in 2 rows. Captain, please board the ship. Su-yan walked straight to the cabin door and looked at the Marvin robots on both sides. Su-yan also sighed at the carrying system. Without so many Marvin robots, it would be really difficult for him to drive such a huge ship by himself. Lin Ching and Huang Yang's eyes widened. They couldn't believe their eyes. Su-yan is actually the captain of this ship. Su-yan he went in. Huang Yang still can't believe that Su-yan's starship is actually this S-class starship. What are you kidding? This is an S-class starship. S-class starships are not just for money. After Lin Ching saw Su-yan entering the cabin door, his heart was like a stormy sea and he couldn't calm down for a long time. She kind of knew why Su-yan refused to be her own crew member. If it is her, who owns an S-class ship and has to be a crew member, isn't that a sick head? But at this moment, the yellow-haired youth just now suddenly knelt down in front of Su-yan with a slippery shovel. Big brother, I just didn't recognize Mount Tai. Can I get on your ship? I don't want a salary. I'd be happy to even let the deck. Before he finished speaking, another engineer jumped out. Boss, I am a B-level mechanical engineer. With so many robots on your spaceship, you must be in need of a mechanical engineer. Boss, look at me, B-class spaceship pilot, absolutely reliable. Brother, look at me, I'm a C-level space nutritionist, I don't need a salary. You, even a C-level skill certificate dares to apply for the job, it's not shameful to lose it. The Moonstar Harbor directly exploded the pot. Some B-level skill credential personnel who are usually self-confident, jumped out one after another. There are even some A-level skill credential personnel touching their chins, considering whether to jump ship to become a crew member on Su-yan's ship. That's an S-class ship. After getting on the ship, even if you are bragging in the future, you will have capital. When you think about drinking in the future, when someone asks you which starship you have stayed on, you directly say that you have stayed on an S-class ship. Isn't that awesome? At this moment, in the office of Moonstar Harbor, Moon Lord Lin Yuming looked at the Hyperion docked in the Star Harbor and couldn't help but gasped. It's a genuine S-class ship. How did this kid get this ship? I know the S-class ships of the entire Sun Alliance, and this ship has never appeared. Lin Yuming couldn't help touching his chin, and there were traces of Su-yan's birth origin. He must be a pure blue star human, but he was able to get an S-class ship under the eyes of the Sun Alliance. This kid has some skills. Moon Lord Lin Shing looked at Su-yan in the Star Harbor, and the corner of his mouth rose slightly. This kid will definitely make a name in the Sea of Stars in the future. The person in charge of the nearby Moonstar port couldn't help but wipe a cold sweat. Today's Moonstar Harbor is very lively. First, the Moon Lord Lin Shing personally drove to the port, and then the S-class ships entered the port. Change to normal, any one thing is enough to make the person in charge very nervous. But today, these two things have all come together. What the hell? Just then, a lunar soldier hurried in. Lord, it's not good. Miss Lin is gone. What? Lin Shing directly blew the pot. The reason why he appeared here today was to assist his sister Lin Chinu into his moon fleet. His sister is an S-class ship manager, and Lin Shing will not let her go on an interstellar voyage alone. Lin Shing, who has experienced interstellar voyages, knows how many dangers exist in the Sea of Stars. Lin Shing said angrily, "What are you still doing? Find me." At this moment, Su Yan in Star Harbor spoke up. "Everyone, if you want to be my crew, it's not impossible. As long as you have an S-level skill certificate, you can board the ship." Everyone who was still eager to try, after hearing this sentence, immediately put out the fire. S-level skill certificate personnel are basically controlled by the Sun Alliance. Not to mention the entire Moon Star Harbor, even the entire solar system, it is difficult to find an S-level skill certificate staff now. These S-level skill certificate personnel will be hired by the people of the Sun Alliance as soon as they appear, so how can they be left to them? After hearing Su Yan's conditions, even those A-level skill credential personnel who wanted to change jobs felt restless. Seeing that the crowd was quiet for a while, Su Yan did not continue to speak. He is very clear that in this starport, people with A-level skill certificates are very rare. As for the S-level skill credential personnel, unless you are lucky enough to meet an S-level skill credential person who has just graduated and has not chosen his own ship. However, such an existence is tantamount to the existence of Mars hitting the Earth. Thinking of this, Su Yan also waved his hand. He himself is an A-level skill certificate officer. If he doesn't have an S-level skill certificate, why would he recruit a crew member who is more rubbish than himself? Seeing that those people stopped shouting, Su Yan also turned directly into the interior of the Hyperion. Let's go, it looks like this lord doesn't plan to recruit crew. The S-level skill credentials are basically recruited by the Sun Alliance. Who would be willing to be a loner with him? Anyway, they are also talents with several A-level skill certificates, and it is understandable that the recruitment conditions are higher. Well, if you can get on the ship, you will have capital for bragging in the future. Su Yan activated the tech watch and began to remotely control the hatch of the Hyperion. The huge hatch closed slowly, and Su Yan also turned to enter the interior of the Hyperion. But at this moment, Su Yan didn't notice that a figure like a vigorous civet directly grabbed the closing hatch. Then, the figure entered directly into the interior of the Hyperion. It's just that the current Su Yan didn't notice, he went straight to the interior of the Hyperion. Visiting the interior of the Hyperion, Su Yan couldn't help but sigh. It has to be said that the Hyperion is a monster-class battlecruiser. Its interior space is extremely broad, and various areas have strict division of labor. The arsenal, laboratory, bridge, and bar are now equipped with Marvin robots. These Marvin robots follow the simple instructions already programmed by the system to maintain the normal operation of the Hyperion. Su Yan came to the bar, and the bartender Marvin robot skillfully made Su Yan a cocktail. Picking up his cocktail, Su Yan came to the bridge. Here, Su Yan can see the sea of stars beyond the moon. Taking a sip of the drink, Su Yan smiled lightly, and then he was about to start his official interstellar journey. An S-class ship, no matter how bad it is, can be a prosperous one in the outer regions of the galaxy. Just then, the bridge received a message. Ding, received a newsletter application. Connect to the communication application. Su Yan was also a little curious as to who sent him the communication application at this time. After the communication application was connected, a familiar voice came. Su Yan, it's me, Yun Qinghan. Yun Qinghan, what is this guy doing for himself? Now that she saw her Hyperion, she should have given up the idea of recruiting her. Su Yan, can you let me join your fleet? Of course, this is temporary. You should know that there is a group of interstellar pirates roaming the edge of the solar system right now. These interstellar pirates make a living by looting us interstellar voyagers. You have S-class ships. If we form a fleet, those interstellar pirates should not act rashly. Interstellar pirates. Su Yan touched his chin. He had also heard about these interstellar pirates. There are some interstellar pirates entrenched all year round on the edge of the solar system. These interstellar pirates relied on the exploitation of fledgling interstellar voyagers to obtain a lot of benefits. It's not that the Sun Alliance has not been attacked, but these interstellar pirates are like flies. As soon as the fleet of the Sun Alliance arrives, they flee. When the fleet of the Sun Alliance leaves, they will come again. These interstellar pirates are the first difficulty for a voyager who wants to sail on the Star Sea. If you are unlucky enough to encounter these interstellar pirates, you will be over by paying some protection fees. If you are lucky, you are likely to be directly captured by the interstellar pirates, and then thrown into an unknown mine to mine for a lifetime. Therefore, in order to improve their survival rate, interstellar voyagers will choose to rush out of the solar system together. Wait until it's safe to part ways. At this moment, many interstellar voyagers have been eyeing Su Yan's Hyperion. After all, it is good to enjoy the shade under the big tree, if they follow Su Yan out of the solar system, even if they encounter interstellar pirates. Those interstellar pirates may also retreat after seeing Su Yan's ship. It turns out that you want to team up with me to deter those interstellar pirates. If an S-class ship is combined with a B-class ship, it will indeed make those interstellar pirates slightly afraid. If you add some other fleets, the gathered power is enough to frighten those interstellar pirates. After all, the solar system is located in the outer area of Shanghai, and the interstellar pirates wandering in this area are all little guys who can't get along in the inner sea of Shanghai. They only dare to loot some lone ships, and when they encounter a fleet of a little size, they will immediately flee. In exchange for the interstellar pirates in the inner sea of Shanghai, they even dared to loot the ships of the regular organization. Yes, if you are an S-class ship traveling alone, it is very likely that you will be targeted by those interstellar pirates. So, we form a fleet to rush out of the solar system together. This is the safest way. Lin Ching is also trying his best to convince Su Yan, although he doesn't know how firepower Su Yan's ships are, the appearance alone is enough to give people a sense of deterrence. If they can form a fleet with them, the chances of them being targeted by interstellar pirates will undoubtedly be greatly reduced. The imagination was beautiful, but Su Yan refused directly. I'm sorry, but you should go find someone else for this kind of thing. Su Yan touched her chin and had a bold idea in her heart. He plans to eat these interstellar pirates. Although his own Hyperion is powerful, it consumes a lot of resources every day. If you rely on your own savings, you will have to turn off the fire soon. And the best way to get a lot of supplies is to annex other fleets. In the solar system, these interstellar pirates are undoubtedly the best choice for Su Yan. These interstellar pirates have robbed countless people over the years, and the accumulated wealth is enough to make Su Yan rich. Su Yan has full confidence in the firepower of the Hyperion. At this time, Lin Shing didn't know yet, when they were discussing how to avoid those interstellar pirates. Su Yan is planning how to annex those interstellar pirates. Su Yan, are you really not going to think about it again? I wish you good luck. I still plan to go on interstellar voyage by myself. Seeing Su Yan insist so, Lin Shing also sighed. It seems that she can only find other ships to cooperate. After all, the activities of interstellar pirates became more frequent during this time. They also don't want to be caught by interstellar pirates as soon as they reach the edge of the solar system. After cutting off the communication, Su Yan also called up the information of those interstellar pirates. Razor pirates, fleet size, 1 C-class flagship, 4 E-class frigates. Gem pirates, fleet size, 1 D-class flagship, 10 F-class frigates. Crocodile pirates, fleet size, 1 B-class flagship and 2 F-class frigates. Sea shark pirates, fleet size, 1 C-class flagship, 5 E-class frigates. These 4 pirate groups are the cosmic pirate groups entrenched on the edge of the solar system. Su Yan looked at the configuration of the pirate groups in front of him and smiled slightly. Except for the crocodile pirates, which has a B-class flagship, the flagships of other interstellar pirates are no more than C-class starships. It is far from the pirate group in the inner sea of Shanghai. It is rumored that the interstellar pirate group in the inner sea area even has an S-class flagship. There's nothing to fear from these little rascals. A light flashed in Su Yan's eyes. He must eat these pirate groups. Turn on the ship's power system and set the target, Pluto outpost. After leaving the range of the Moonstar Harbor, start the sub-light speed flight state immediately. Following Su Yan's operations, the behemoth Hyperion began to slowly leave the port. At this time, the Moonstar Harbor also sounded a series of broadcast notifications again. Attention, the S-class ships are leaving the port, please pay attention to avoidance of the ships in the port. Attention, the S-class ships are leaving the port, please pay attention to avoidance of the ships in the port. Attention, the S-class ships are leaving the port, please pay attention to avoidance of the ships in the port. Many ships that were preparing to enter the lunar port were also notified and immediately chose to avoid them. The huge Hyperion is like a steel fortress, driving out of the starport with a mighty force. Many starship captains outside the planet couldn't help but gasp when they saw such a huge ship. Quickly evade, such a ship hits us, our small body can't bear it. When did a starship of this size appear in the solar system? How come I've never seen it? Hey, if I have this ship, I can walk sideways in the solar system. The surrounding ships avoided one after another. Compared to the huge body of the Hyperion, their ships were as small as toys. In the starport, Lin Shing immediately commanded his crew after seeing the Hyperion leave the port. The Qian slowly sailed out of the port, and the other ships in the starport also started their engines. I saw the Qian sailing out of the Moonstar Harbor, and several starships quickly followed the Qian. These starships are the partners that Lin Shing found after Su Yan. Several starships formed a temporary fleet, and many starships surrounded the Qian. With Qian as the flagship, a temporary fleet is formed. Prepare for sublight flight, target, Pluto outpost. For a time, outside the Moonstar Harbor, a large number of ships turned into a streamer and disappeared in place. At this time, in the Moonstar Harbor, Lin Shing slammed the table. In an instant, the table in front of him turned into powder. The person in charge of Xingang next to him was in a cold sweat. He knew very well that these planet lords had acquired superhuman strength during their long interstellar voyages. As long as he wants to, he can even directly obliterate himself from the spot. Therefore, when dealing with the Moon Lord in front of him, the person in charge of Xingang did not dare to take a breath. A bunch of rubbish, so you can't find anyone. Lin Shing pinched his eyebrows, feeling a headache. He never imagined that he would actually lose his own sister. Still lost on his sight. If this was passed on to his eldest brother would not have stripped him alive. Lin Shing rubbed his brows and looked out the window at the starships that were leaving the starport one after another. Suddenly I have a bad feeling in my heart. Is this girl secretly on someone's starship, ready to go on interstellar voyage? Thinking of this, Lin Shing couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. He has been in the Shanghai for so many years, and he is well aware of the risks in interstellar voyages. Although many planet lords will send their children to the Star Sea for trials, the Lin family is the backbone of the Sun Alliance. The eldest brother is one of the senior members of the Sun Alliance, and the second brother, Lin Shing, is the Moon Lord. As the youngest and most favored third sister Lin Chinu, the family did not plan to let her go on interstellar voyages. Whether it is entering the Sun Alliance or the Moon Fleet, she can mix well. Lin Shing looked at the departing ships outside the window, and couldn't help feeling nervous. Third sister, don't think about it. Afterwards, Lin Shing began to notify the Pluto outpost. This is the Moon Lord Lin Shing, hereby issuing a bounty. If you can find the eldest miss of my Lin family, Lin Qinghan, the one who provides the information will be rewarded with 100,000 star coins. If someone can bring me back, Miss Lin, I can pay 1 million stars. All ships departing from the Moonstar port must go through the registration of the Pluto outpost. The Pluto outpost is equivalent to the border of the solar system. Once they step through the Pluto outpost, it means that they have officially stepped into the endless sea of stars. Near the Pluto outpost, a fleet is entrenched near the Pluto outpost. On the ships of these fleets, a logo of a crocodile skull was sprayed. This fleet is the famous crocodile pirates. In the flagship, Giant Crocodile, of the crocodile pirates, the leader of the crocodile pirates is a crocodile. It is rumored that the leader of the crocodile pirate group was originally a human, but after being injected with crocodile genes, he gradually became a crocodile man. Although he lost his human appearance, he also gained great power. Boss, according to the news that we have placed in the Moonstar Harbor, the first batch of interstellar voyagers have come this way. A monster with a fish-headed human body also came to the crocodile man. The pirates in the crocodile pirate group are all monsters mixed with fish genes and human genes. Even if you're human, unless it's an internal job, you have to be injected with fish genes. At this moment, a streamer appeared near the Pluto outpost. The first ship has arrived. Getting out of sub-light flight state. In an instant, a huge ship like a black steel fortress appeared in front of many warriors at the Pluto outpost. S-class ships. What's the situation? This S-class ship is not in the database of the solar system, it is a brand new S-class ship. There are no frigates around this ship, it's a private ship. After seeing the Hyperion, the soldiers at the Pluto outpost couldn't help but gasp. They did not expect that an S-class ship would suddenly come. At this time, Luo Feng, the head of the Pluto outpost, came directly to the command center. When he saw the Hyperion on the screen, he couldn't believe his eyes. Is it really an S-class ship? Or an S-class ship he had never seen before? Ding! Ship number 666, the Hyperion sent a customs clearance application. Hurry up and pass him. The staff immediately recorded the information of the Hyperion and sent him a customs clearance certificate. After all, this is a customs clearance certificate for an S-class ship, and the people inside must be rich or expensive. For them, the existence of being able to drive S-class ships is not something they can provoke. Soon, the information about the Hyperion was also in Luo Feng's hands. Ship name, Hyperion. Ship type, battle cruiser. Ship class, S-class. Ship owner, Su Yan. Su Yan, who was waiting for the customs clearance certificate in the Hyperion, also asked the Marvin robot to bring him a cocktail. The Pluto outpost is the human frontier, and any ship that wants to enter or leave the solar system needs to pass through the Pluto outpost. Otherwise, any ship entering the interior of the solar system without passing through the outpost will be considered an invasion. After the customs clearance certificate is issued, as long as he enters the area of the Sun Alliance in the future, he will be able to travel unimpeded. Su Yan took a sip of his drink, and at this moment, the customs clearance certificate of the Pluto outpost was also sent directly to his technology watch. After seeing the customs clearance certificate, Su Yan was also stunned for a moment. So fast, he thought it would take at least an hour for the customs clearance certificate to come down. After all, in addition to himself, there are still many ships waiting for customs clearance certificates every day. However, Su Yan didn't pay much attention to it, and directly put away the customs clearance certificate. With this clearance certificate, you can leave the Pluto outpost. Ding! Check-in location detected, Pluto outpost. Do you want to sign in? Does Pluto outpost also trigger check-ins? Of course, choose to sign in. Sign in successfully. Congratulations on your successful acquisition of 1,000 predators. 1,000 predators are now in the dormant cabin of the arsenal, and you can wake them up at any time as long as you need them. 1,000 predators. Su Yan showed a satisfied smile. Very good. In this case, your ship's security force will have a certain degree of certainty. The Marvin robot can only perform some of the most basic spaceship operations, and beyond that, it is difficult to even communicate. With the Hyperion where the predators are stationed, even if someone sneaks into the ship, the predators will definitely find them out. Just when Su Yan was about to wake up a group of predators, the ship's communication channel also received a notification. Ding! A communication request has been sent from the Pluto outpost. Communication request for Pluto outpost. Is there something wrong with your customs clearance certificate? Su Yan also decisively connected the communication application on the opposite side. Sir, is something wrong? Luo Feng on the opposite side was a little surprised when he heard Su Yan's voice. Is it a young man? Owning an S-class ship at such a young age is not easy. Cough, it's okay, I'm just asking, where are you going? I'm an interstellar voyager, and I haven't decided where to go next. Su Yan frowned slightly. He asked himself where to go and what to do. It doesn't do them any good to investigate their whereabouts. Hearing Su Yan's tone a little displeased, Luo Feng also said in a panic, I think you misunderstood. The edge of the solar system is not very peaceful recently. If you are going for interstellar voyage, do you need our Pluto fleet to escort it? Fleet escort, when did Pluto outpost become so enthusiastic? Su Yan decisively refused. Just kidding, if they escort themselves, how dare those interstellar pirates come here? Seeing Su Yan's refusal, Luo Feng also quickly apologized. Sorry for bothering you. After hanging up the communication, Luo Feng also breathed a sigh of relief. For such a young captain of an S-class ship, the background behind it must be not simple and it must be right to be careful. The huge ship of the Hyperion slowly drove out of the Pluto outpost. And the crocodile pirate group entrenched near the Pluto outpost also directly eyed the Hyperion. Boss, that ship seems to be an S-class starship. Lousy is not blind, of course he can see it. The crocodile man's eyes are full of greed now, that is an S-class ship. If you have an S-class ship, do you still need to mess around in this corner of the solar system? If he had this S-class ship, he would be able to make a name for himself in the inner sea of Shanghai. Boss, should we rob this ship? The younger brother next to him also saw the greed in the eyes of the crocodile, and they just observed it. This S-class ship doesn't even have a frigate. If other S-class ships travel, there will be at least a few frigates guarding them. But this S-class ship was traveling alone into the depths of the Star Sea. This behavior, in the eyes of these interstellar pirates, is tantamount to a peerless beauty with heavy makeup hooking on them. Who is it? Who can bear it? Damn it, starve the timid to death. Little ones, get ready. As soon as this ship is out of the range of the Pluto outpost, we will immediately surround it. The crocodile man slapped his thigh. After seeing this S-class ship, other ships were completely boring in his eyes. If you want to do it big. If you can get this S-class ship, you might be able to return to the inland sea area. The crocodile man's eyes were full of fiery heat, as if ambition domineering was waving to him. On Su Yan's side, he also noticed the traces of the interstellar pirates. However, these interstellar pirates didn't have the guts to do it at this time. At least they will stop themselves when they are ready to make a space jump after they are out of the range of the Pluto outpost. In that case, let's try it. I saw that the corner of Su Yan's mouth rose slightly, and the real hunter often appeared from the prey posture. He rejected Lin Ching's application to form a team, and rejected the application for guarding the Pluto outpost. Su Yan drives the Hyperion alone in the endless sea of stars, in order to lure these interstellar pirates to take the bait. The crocodile pirates turned their ships around and attacked Su Yan's Hyperion. On the Pluto outpost, the temporary fleet composed of the Qian and other ships also came here. As soon as they arrived at the Pluto outpost, they saw the crocodile pirate group in the distance turn the bow and attacked Su Yan's Hyperion. In the communication channel, Lin Shing frowned slightly. How dare these interstellar pirates dare to do something near the Pluto outpost? Su Yan's Hyperion is being targeted. At this time, in the communication channel, someone spoke. Didn't you invite him to form a team before? He chose to refuse. Now that he is like this, it is entirely his own fault. Yes, while the attention of the pirate group is now on Su Yan's ship, it is our best chance to rush out of the solar system. Lin Ching frowned slightly. Does she really want to let Su Yan be plundered by interstellar pirates? Everyone in the fleet is just a fledgling interstellar voyager. They were scared out of their wits just by hearing the name of the interstellar pirate. Let them go and fight the interstellar pirates, how is it possible? Goddess Cloud, don't worry, this is within the range of Pluto outpost. As long as those interstellar pirates dare to do it, the Pluto fleet will definitely stop it. At that time, that guy Su Yan will be plundered at most for some resources. Is this really the case? Lin Ching frowned, but she knew very well that it was useless even if she was in a hurry. Even if he wanted to save Su Yan, whether the captains under his command agreed or not was another matter. On one side are vicious interstellar pirates with rich combat experience, and on the other side are some interstellar voyagers with no combat experience. You don't need to think about the outcome of the battle to know who will win. Lin Ching sighed, and now she can only hope that Su Yan finds out and returns to the Pluto outpost sooner. Those interstellar pirates may choose to leave due to the deterrence of the Pluto outpost. At this moment, the crocodile man is sitting on the giant crocodile, and he already has an idea in his heart. This time, even if you take all your belongings, you must rob this S-class ship. The fleet of those Pluto outposts, even if they react now, will take at least an hour to catch up. During this period of time, as long as he can rob this S-class ship, he will be considered a great success. At that time, with the help of this S-class ship, I will be able to make a comeback. He is very aware of the gold content of S-class ships. At Pluto outpost, Luo Feng also saw the actions of those crocodile pirates. Master, These crocodile pirates seemed to be eyeing the Hyperion. After hearing this sentence, Luo Feng also said angrily, I'm not blind. Call out a few frigates, and absolutely cannot let this S-class ship fall into the hands of interstellar pirates. What Luo Feng was most worried about still happened. Does this guy named Su Yan understand the gold content of S-class ships? His current behavior is tantamount to a child holding a luminous pearl in front of a group of robbers. Isn't this making trouble for yourself? If this S-class ship falls into the hands of interstellar pirates, it will not be long before a large pirate group rises. This is the horror of S-class ships. For the strength outside the inner sea of Shanghai, the S-class ship is more like a symbol of strength, and its influence is far greater than its combat effectiveness. In the Hyperion, Su Yan came to the bar. Click on an elegant piece of music, and the Marvin robot next to him will hand Su Yan a drink. Su Yan took a sip of the drink, not feeling the urgency of the impending battle at all. He even turned on arcade machines in entertainment venues from time to time and played a game or two of the King of Fighters. Calculate the time, those crocodile pirates should almost start. Glancing at the small map displayed on the tech watch, Su Yan stood up. His present indifference comes from the powerful firepower of the Hyperion. Before, he had obtained the ship information of the crocodile pirates. The flagship of the crocodile pirates, Giant Crocodile, although it is a B-class ship, this ship is actually converted from a cargo ship. Its firepower is not even as good as some D-class firepower ships. The main firepower output is 2 F-class firepower ships, and these 2 F-class firepower ships are the main output. Warning, a ship is approaching. The scarlet alarm sounded suddenly, and a series of red warning symbols appeared on the screen on the chest of the Marvin robot who was bartending. Su Yan returned to the bridge unhurriedly, his indifference stemming from the powerful firepower of the Hyperion. Whenever he panics, it is disrespect to the Hyperion. I saw the figure of the giant crocodile appearing right in front of the Hyperion's route. On both sides of the Hyperion, the other 2 fire frigates of the crocodile pirates appeared. In the giant crocodile, the crocodile waved his hand. Attack. After destroying the ship's armor, immediately engage in a pickup battle. All treat lousy, this ship will be our new flagship in the future. If anyone takes a serious shot, Lousy will seriously destroy the ship, and Lousy can't spare him. Fire. The armors of the 2 fire frigates were opened one after another, and several missile launch pads stretched out. For a time, thousands of flame missiles poured out. Rumbling. Gorgeous flames instantly enveloped the entire body of the Hyperion. Even Yun Qinghan at the Pluto outpost could see the terrifying scenes of those missiles falling on the Hyperion. Seeing such a scene, the crocodile man also said angrily, "Who asked you to launch so many missiles and destroy Lousy's S-class ship?" In the heart of the crocodile, Su Yan's S-class ship is already in his pocket. Thousands of flame missiles hit the ship head-on, and the damage must have been enormous. But at this time, in the communication channel of the crocodile man, the captains of the 2 fire frigates said tremblingly, "Report, we failed to penetrate each other's armor." What? Thousands of fire missiles failed to penetrate the opponent's armor. At this moment, a layer of energy barrier was attached to the surface of the Hyperion, and it rushed out of the flames. Thousands of fire missiles, not to mention the armor of the Hyperion. Even the Hyperion's energy barrier didn't lose much durability. It seems that I still think highly of them. Seeing that the durable energy shield had hardly been consumed, the corners of Su Yan's mouth rose slightly. I wanted to test the defense of the Hyperion. But now it seems that the attack of these 2 fire frigates cannot even penetrate his energy shield. It's so weak. At this moment, the crocodile man was sitting in the flagship, and his heart was also tight when he saw a layer of energy barrier covering the surface of the Hyperion. Energy barrier. He actually has this kind of defense on his ship. Energy barriers are generally only installed on advanced ships. You know, the energy barrier can provide additional defense capabilities for the spacecraft. However, its energy consumption is also a lot of money, and the average ship would rather strengthen the armor than install an energy barrier on the ship. However, after the crocodile saw the energy barrier, instead of being frightened, the fire of greed in his eyes became even stronger. It's not a loss for an S-class ship, it even has an energy barrier. Little guys, keep attacking, I can't do it. His energy barrier is endless. Prepare armor-piercing bullets, wait until the energy barrier is destroyed, and use armor-piercing bullets directly. The crocodile man frantically ordered his men to attack. The 2 fire frigates under his command are attacking again. Countless missiles fell on the Hyperion's energy barrier. Immediately afterwards, the giant crocodile also turned on the heavy laser cannon installed on the ship. Boom! The huge laser cannon landed directly on the Hyperion's energy barrier. The terrifying energy spread directly, and the huge energy fell on the barrier. Everyone could see a shock wave of energy spreading from the Hyperion at the center. Seeing such a terrifying ship attack, many ships at the Pluto outpost couldn't help but gasp. They usually see the battle between ships only in the video. Now, for the first time they saw the battle between ships at such a close distance, and they couldn't help but feel a little fear in their hearts. If it was their ship, it is estimated that their ship armor had been shattered by the first round of fire missile attacks. Su Yan's ship is not a S-class ship. It's a pity that it can survive so many attacks. If it was my ship, it would have been smashed into slag by now. No matter how high the defense is, his energy shield will be exhausted sooner or later. What will he do at that time? It seems that Su Yan's S-class ships are just a bit more defensive. Yun Qinghan watched Su Yan's ship face the attack of the crocodile pirate group, and it was as steady as the king of Ming dynasty. I also have a new understanding of this S-class ship in my heart. Is this the terrifying power of S-class ships? If it was her Scarlet Flame, how many rounds of attacks could she survive? At this moment, the fleet of Pluto outpost officially set sail. The uniform Pluto fleet attacked the crocodile pirate group like a torrent of steel. The crocodile man in the giant crocodile saw that the Pluto fleet was approaching, and his heart could not help but become nervous. This S-class ship is much tougher than I imagined. However, he did not intend to give up. This is his last chance to obtain an S-class ship. If he misses this time, he may not have the chance in this life. Thinking of this, greedy thoughts once again occupied the high ground of reason. All ships, full firepower. I don't believe it. I can't open this energy barrier today. Activate the laser cannon and aim at the target. 8 laser cannons rise from the surface of the crocodile, a total of 24 laser cannons for the 3 ships. The power of 24 laser cannons is enough to make a small city evaporate instantly. This is the last trump card of the crocodile man. The current crocodiles don't care whether these laser cannons will destroy the S-class ships. He only knew now that if the Pluto fleet came over in a while, he would not be able to catch anything. Not only that, but he also lost a batch of arms in vain. Fire! Whoosh! 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 24 laser cannons fired in unison, and the dazzling laser energy directly hit the energy barrier of the Hyperion. Everyone could not help but narrow their eyes, and the Hyperion was directly covered by laser energy. After a dazzling light flashed, everyone's eyes fell on the Hyperion. However, when they saw the current state of the Hyperion, their eyes widened. The Hyperion's energy barrier slowly disappeared, but the hull was not damaged in the slightest. Not even the 24 laser cannons left a single scratch on the hull. What kind of defense is this, Timo? 24 laser cannons just knocked out the energy shield. The power of 24 cannons is enough to destroy a small city. Putting it on Su Yan's ship is just to destroy an energy barrier. This is too outrageous. Is this the terrifying defense of S-class ships? Yun Qinghan and the others now have a turbulent storm in their hearts, and they can't calm down for a long time. The defense capability of this S-class ship is far beyond their imagination. However, now that the energy barrier has been destroyed, does Su Yan have any other means? Inside the Hyperion, Su Yan glanced at the consumption of the energy barrier. Tisk, this energy barrier really can't be opened, and it consumes a lot of energy in such a short time. The Pluto fleet should be coming soon. It's time to end this hunt. Turn on the laser cannon array. Fire! The crocodile man was overjoyed when he watched the energy barrier disappearing from the Hyperion. This energy barrier has finally disappeared. In the eyes of the crocodile, the S-class ship finally opened the door by himself. Now, it's time to take it into your own hands. The crocodile rubbed his hands excitedly. Armor-piercing bullets are ready for a pickup battle. But at this moment, the laser cannon on the surface of the Hyperion turned its muzzle and aimed at the giant crocodile. Fire. The next second, the dense laser beams like a rainstorm fell directly on the giant crocodile. For a time, the giant crocodile was directly submerged by the laser. Warning, the armor of the giant crocodile is shattered. Warning, the giant crocodile nuclear power furnace is seriously damaged. Warning, the giant crocodile is seriously damaged. The crocodile man sitting on the bridge widened his eyes, unable to believe his own eyes. What is fire coverage? Thousands of lasers hit like a rainstorm, directly destroying the armor of the giant crocodile. The proud armor of the giant crocodile is as fragile as cardboard in the face of the powerful firepower of the Hyperion. Less than a minute, accompanied by a burst of brilliant fire, it exploded in the starry sky. The giant crocodile was directly destroyed by Su Yan's endless fire. The two surrounding fire frigates saw their flagships turn into gorgeous fireworks. They didn't even react. Is the flagship just gone? Their boss just evaporated like that. Not to mention that they didn't respond, even the ships at the Pluto outpost didn't respond. The Hyperion, which was still on passive defense, turned into a star beast after losing its energy barrier. Such a terrifying laser rain, even if these ships encounter them, they will not escape death. Could this be the true strength of the Hyperion? Do we still need to save him? It seems that those interstellar pirates need rescue more than him. Several pilots of the Pluto fleet looked at their commander blankly. Their mission was to rescue Su Yan, but Su Yan directly destroyed the flagship of the crocodile pirates with one round of bombardment. In this case, he doesn't seem to need their support. At this moment, the other two fire frigates reacted immediately, and quickly turned around to prepare to escape. But at this time, how could Su Yan let them go? The laser cannon array was turned on again, and the dense lasers directly submerged one of the ships. The next second, the laser cannon turned the muzzle again. Another round of bombardment, another fire frigate also directly turned into a gorgeous fireworks. It took less than 10 minutes for 3 rounds of artillery bombardment. In just 10 minutes, Su Yan destroyed the crocodile pirates. The crocodile pirates had 1 B-class flagship and 2 F-class frigates. In just 10 minutes, the entire army was destroyed. At this moment, a large number of carrier-based aircraft appeared around the Hyperion. These carrier-based aircraft are equipped with Marvin robots specially designed to drive, and these Marvin robots began to collect the energy ore scattered among the wreckage of these ships. For Su Yan, the role of these energy minerals is crucial. Without the energy ore, the Hyperion would not be able to start, no matter how powerful it was. Su Yan sat on the bridge seat, waiting for the Pluto outpost to contact him. You must know that the giant crocodile of the crocodile pirates is a B-class ship. During the battle, Su Yan was very merciful and did not directly beat him to scum. If he wanted to, his Yamato cannon would be enough to vaporize the giant crocodile. But he didn't do it, he still needed this ship to earn his first pot of gold. Ding, a communication application has been sent from the Pluto outpost. Coming. Su Yan decisively connected the communication application, and the other party used 3D projection technology this time. Luo Feng, dressed as an alliance warrior, appeared in front of Su Yan. Hello Captain Su Yan, I'm the head of the Pluto outpost. We have communicated before. Looking at the Luo Feng projection in front of him, Su Yan also nodded. He knew very well the purpose of this outpost master. It is nothing more than wanting to buy the wreck of the giant crocodile from his own hands. For them, buying the wreck of a B-class ship, repairing and refitting it, the resource consumption is far less than the resources required to build a B-class ship. But the crocodile was Su Yan's trophy, and even the Pluto outpost couldn't take it by force. Therefore, Luo Feng also applied for communication with Su Yan. Captain Su Yan, to be honest, your ship's performance is far beyond my imagination. The notorious crocodile pirate group, which fell in your hands, is also a blessing for our solar system. According to the reward amount offered by the Sun Alliance, the reward amount offered by the crocodile pirates is 1 million stars. At that time, we will report the situation to the Sun Alliance and transfer this million-star coins into your account. Several pirate groups entrenched on the edge of the solar system have troubled the Sun Alliance for a long time. So the Sun Alliance also issued a reward order. These are all rewards that Su Yan should receive, but 1 million stars is just a drop in the bucket for the maintenance of the entire Hyperion. Immediately afterwards, Luo Feng also officially entered the theme. Besides that, we at Pluto Outpost would like you to sell us the wreck of the crocodile. We are willing to give you a reasonable price if you are willing to sell it. Luo Feng also rubbed his hands uneasily, for fear that Su Yan would refuse. A B-class ship is definitely a big boost for their Pluto outpost. Su Yan didn't hesitate, he didn't intend to leave the wreck of the giant crocodile. Even if he stayed, he had no money to repair the ship. For himself, it is nothing but a pile of scrap metal. Yes, but what I need is not star coins, but energy ore. The Hyperion is definitely a big energy consumer. Su Yan's top priority is to solve the energy consumption problem of the Hyperion. Even if you give yourself star coins, you will buy a lot of energy ores. It is better to do it in one step and directly use the wreck of the giant crocodile to buy a large amount of energy ores. The wreckage of this giant crocodile, plus the wreckage of the other two ships, I want you to have 100,000 units of energy ore, no problem. When hearing this, Luo Feng, who was opposite, also touched his chin. Direct purchase of energy ore. This makes no difference. After converting the value, Luo Feng agreed decisively. Make a deal. After the transaction was established, the Pluto ship also recovered the wreckage of the giant crocodile and two other ships. As for the resources of the giant crocodile and the other two ships, they were naturally collected into Su Yan's Hyperion. Soon, Su Yan's Hyperion was anchored in the starport of the Pluto outpost. Luo Feng walked into the interior of the Hyperion with a large amount of energy ores. Su Yan sat in the bar and ordered a cocktail for Luo Feng. As the head of the Pluto outpost, Luo Feng is like Grandma Lu entering the Grand View Garden. After seeing the cocktail in Su Yan's hand, he couldn't help but widen his eyes. There is actually a bar inside this ship. Powerful defense, terrifying firepower, and an internal structure called Heaven. Today I opened my eyes. It turns out that this is the interior of the S-class ship. Luo Feng drank the drink in one sip, feeling refreshed. If it weren't for his duty, he would really want to resign as the station master of the Pluto outpost and get on Su Yan's ship. Such a powerful and comfortable starship, who would not be moved by it? Watching the energy ore continuously transported into the interior of the ship. The corners of Su Yan's mouth rose slightly. With this batch of energy ores, at least before arriving at the next space station for resupply, he didn't have to worry about the energy problem of the Hyperion. And Luo Feng looked at the batch of energy ores and secretly thought in his heart. This batch of energy ores is worth at least hundreds of millions of stars. Su Yan is just a fledgling interstellar voyager, and he has acquired such a huge fortune. Changed to the former self, at this time, it is estimated that he is still worrying about how to avoid the pursuit of the interstellar pirates. For thousands of years, Su Yan was the only one who did not think much about avoiding the interstellar pirates, but instead gave the interstellar pirates to the interstellar voyagers who robbed them. At a time when other interstellar voyagers were dreading and avoiding interstellar pirates, he used himself as a bait to directly hunt those interstellar pirates. Such a bold move, even Luo Feng did not expect. It is estimated that the crocodile pirate group never thought that they had been in the stars for many years, but they were actually planted in the hands of an interstellar voyager who had not yet rushed out of the solar system. Among the thousands of interstellar voyagers I have ever seen, Captain Su Yan, you are the most promising I have ever seen. In time, I will definitely hear your reputation in the sea of stars. Luo Feng also did not hesitate to praise Su Yan. For Luo Feng's praise, Su Yan is naturally undeniable. Powerful defense, terrifying firepower, sitting on the Hyperion, sooner or later, he will make a name for himself in the sea of stars. But before that, Su Yan still needs to develop slowly. Money, energy and ships, all three are indispensable. Now that the energy source is resolved, there is no need to worry too much about the ship's problem. So what is needed now is to solve the problem of money. I need money, a lot of money. After entering Shanghai, whether it is to purchase living resources or maintain the ship itself, it will cost a lot of star coins. As for the reward order of the crocodile pirates, the star coins are exchanged for the captains of other ships. After getting this windfall, they may be able to relax for a while. But Su Yan's Hyperion is not good, it's almost enough to maintain this amount of money a few times. Brother Luo Feng, Don't look at my current appearance. The energy and star coins consumed by this ship every day are not a small amount. Brother, you are well informed. For the sake of our transaction, how about showing me a clear path? In terms of how to make money, Su Yan, a fledgling interstellar voyager, is naturally no better than Luo Feng, an old fritter. Before Luo Feng became the head of the Pluto outpost, he sailed in the interstellar space for hundreds of years. According to rumors, he even entered the inland sea area for a time. However, he never admitted it. If you want to ask how to make money quickly, you are right to ask him. After a few glasses of wine, Luo Feng also looked at Su Yan more and more. It seems that you also understand that the three things most needed for interstellar navigation are money, energy and ships. If you want to make money, I suggest you go to the Golden Galaxy. The Golden Galaxy has the largest trading post in the open sea. In the trading post, you can acquire the coordinates of unknown ships, and then explore the coordinates of these unknown ships, and then you can get a lot of money. Of course, if you are lucky and come across a ship that is still in good condition, those employers will recycle the ship at a high price, and the profit in it can be imagined. After hearing this, Su Yan's eyes also brightened. Is there such a good place? If you don't ask Luo Feng, he may not even know where the Golden Galaxy is. Luo Feng glanced at Su Yan, and then said lightly, I don't tell him this kind of news. Those unknown ship coordinates have certain risks, and some of the unknown ship coordinates are bait released by interstellar pirates. If people who don't know it go there, they may be hijacked by interstellar pirates. However, if it's you, it's not certain who will rob who will be. After listening to these words, Su Yan also raised the wine glass in his hand to express his gratitude to Luo Feng. After Luo Feng and the two talked for a while, all the energy ore was transported to Su Yan's ship. This batch of energy ore is enough for me to not worry about the energy problem of the Hyperion in a short time. Sitting on the bridge, Su Yan opened the interstellar map. In this world, the entire universe has become an endless sea of stars. The Xinghai is divided into several star regions. Below the star region is the star region, and after the star region is the galaxy. The Gold Galaxy and the Sun Galaxy are in the same alpha sector. Su Yan planned his route to the Golden Galaxy on the map. The shortest route, Su Yan only needs to cross 5 galaxies to reach the Golden Galaxy. Su Yan sets her next target location. Selecting target locations. Proxima Centauri, Arcturus. The coordinates of the target location have been determined. Prepare for space jump. The Hyperion turned on the space transition state, and Su Yan also fastened his seat belt. After all, a space transition is no less than the speed of light, a journey across a galaxy. After Su Yan fastened her seat belt, the Hyperion also started the space transition. I saw the huge Hyperion disappearing on the edge of the solar system in the blink of an eye. Su Yan, who was sitting on the Hyperion, only saw that the light beam above his head turned into colorful colors, and the Hyperion shuttled through the space tunnel. After a full minute, the Hyperion rushed out of the space tunnel. The space transition has ended and is cooling down. In the distance, an emerald green planet appeared in Su Yan's field of vision. This is Arcturus in Proxima Centauri. Arcturus is the first stop for most interstellar voyagers after their interstellar voyage. Because Arcturus is a virgin forest, here, interstellar voyagers can obtain some meat through hunting. However, everyone will follow the interstellar laws and will not cause damage to the ecology of this planet. Su Yan drove the Hyperion into this primitive planet. After entering the atmosphere, Su Yan could see that the surface of the planet was almost covered by tall and green plants. In these dense jungles, some giant dinosaur-like creatures stick out their heads. When they saw the huge size of the Hyperion, they were also frightened and ran around. You can't do anything here without a bodyguard. Su Yan turned on his tech watch. Wake up the predator. Waking up the predator. The 1,000 predators that were obtained from the last system check-in were finally useful. Chapter 11. USS Hyperion, Arsenal. In the dormant cabin, one after another jagged warriors slept in armor wearing armor. At this time, an open space in the arsenal was accompanied by a distortion of space. A beautiful black-haired girl appeared in the open space of the arsenal. If Su Yan was here, she would definitely be able to recognize that the black-haired girl in front of her was none other than the Moon Lord's sister Lin Chinu. When at the Moonstar Harbor, Lin Chinu easily entered Su Yan's Hyperion using his optical invisibility cloak. Oh, let me go to his fleet as a secretary, I won't go. My dream is the sea of stars. Lin Chinu was walking in the corridor of the arsenal. During this time, with the help of an optical invisibility cloak, she was hardly discovered by Su Yan. After all, on this Hyperion, apart from Su Yan, there are only those dumb Marvin robots. Those Marvin robots would not take Lin Chinu seriously at all. Even if Lin Chinu walked past them, they would only do their own work. Lin Chinu is also very clear that staying on Su Yan's boat is not an option. After he got to the next space station, he sneaked out. I ran away from home this time, but I brought a lot of property with me. When I use this property, it is enough to form a huge fleet in a short time. Snort. Lin Chinu secretly swore that the eldest brother and the second brother would be surprised by that time. You are not a vase that they can arrange at will. Thinking of this, Lin Chinu was also filled with pride. At this time, Lin Chinu also walked to the dormant cabin of the predator. Through the glass of the dormant cabin, Lin Chinu also looked at the same sleeping predator. A robot, why does it look so strange? Lin Chinu, who had never seen the predator, saw that the predator was wearing a mask and had various equipment, and immediately thought it was some kind of robot with a unique shape. But at this moment, the mask of the predator in the dormant cabin suddenly activated, and a pair of scarlet eyes stared at Lin Chinu. Lin Chinu was suddenly startled, and after taking a few steps back, she began to look around. I saw that the surrounding hibernation cabins started to activate, and a large number of predator woke up from their slumber. Seeing this, Lin Chinu's expression changed, and she immediately activated her optical invisibility cloak. She had a hunch that these guys were different from those Marvin robots. Just looking at each other just now, I actually felt a biting killing intent. These guys are a real killing machine. Puff. The cold air in the dormant cabin was released and the hatch opened. Several predators walked out of the dormant cabin, and suddenly, the eyes of all predators fell on Lin Chinu. At this moment, Lin Chinu felt like a lamb being targeted by a group of jackals. How is this possible? How can they see me? Lin Chinu also checked herself and determined that she had entered a state of invisibility. However, how did she know that the predator's mask was equipped with a thermal imaging device? Her optical invisibility cloak was of no use at all in front of the predator. One of the predator pointed in Lin Chinu's direction and said something that Lin Chinu could not understand. The next second, a predator walked directly towards Lin Chinu. Seeing this, Lin Chinu immediately understood that her optical invisibility cloak was of no use to these predator at all. However, even if she wanted to run now, it was too late. Not long after, several predators escorted Lin Chinu to the bridge. Su Yan on the bridge glanced at the predator, and then at Lin Chinu. Su Yan was not too surprised by the existence of Lin Chinu. Because some time ago, he also discovered that there were other people on the Hyperion. However, in order not to startle the snake, he still chose to wake up the predator first. Sure enough, these predators did not disappoint him. Stowaway, how is your life on my Hyperion during this time? Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu in front of him, and he recognized Lin Chinu at first sight. She is the younger sister of the Moon Lord Lin Shing, and he has seen her reward order before. But I didn't expect that this guy was actually hiding on his own Hyperion. Glancing at the optical invisibility cloak on her body, Su Yan also squinted slightly. It turned out to be with the help of an optical invisibility cloak. No wonder I hadn't discovered her existence for so long. This thing is a high-end product, and you may not be able to buy it without any means. Lin Chinu, who was caught, was also sweating coldly from her back, and hurriedly begged for mercy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to smuggle, I can pay. My brother is the Moon Lord. As long as you let me go, I will pay you enough. Now Lin Chinu's bowels are regretful. She thought that with the help of the optical invisibility cloak, she could at least hide to the next space station. But she underestimated Su Yan's predator too much. Her small tricks are not worth mentioning in front of predator. I know you're the Moon Lord's sister, but what does it matter? If I kill you now and throw you on Arcturus, those monsters will eat your corpse. At that time, who will know where you have gone, and who will know that you died in my hands? As soon as these words came out, Lin Chinu turned pale with fright. At this time, Lin Chinu also understood. This is not the solar system, nor is it the territory of her Lin family. Here, no one will cover her, and no one will respect her because of her status. Lin Chinu looked at Su Yan in front of him. In his eyes, Su Yan had become a heinous villain like an interstellar pirate. I have money. Kill you, all the money is mine. Lin Chinu. At this moment, Lin Chinu was deeply aware of the sinister nature of the people sailing through the sea of stars. Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu in front of him and raised Erlang's legs. To be honest, whether it is from the point of view of the same clan or from the perspective of Lin Chinu's identity, Su Yan will not kill him. Instead, Su Yan will send it safely to the next space station, then notify the Moon Lord to lead it, and earn a bounty for herself. But before that, he must let this eldest lady who doesn't know the danger of Shanghai know what it means to be sinister. This time, she dared to secretly board her own ship, and next time she might board someone else's ship. At this time, Lin Chinu bit her lip tightly, tears in her eyes. After a long time, Lin Chinu looked up and said, I know the location of a ruin, it's on Arcturus. The items in that ruin are definitely worth a lot more than me. Oh, Su Yan didn't expect that. He just wanted to scare this little girl. Unexpectedly, there are unexpected gains. You know, Arcturus is a planet that is often visited by interstellar voyagers. If there was anything good on the surface of the planet, it would have been looted long ago. But Lin Chinu said it all, which means that there must be treasures on Arcturus that he doesn't know yet. Thinking of this, Su Yan also raised his hand. The predators immediately understood, and Lin Chinu was released by the predators. Su Yan said indifferently, if there really are the ruins you mentioned on Arcturus. After I get the treasure in the ruins, I will send you safely to the next space station. As soon as the words fell, Lin Chinu also flashed a light in his eyes. Keep your word. Find the ruins first. Hearing this sentence, Lin Chinu's eyes suddenly dimmed. Su Yan didn't care about her emotions, and the Hyperion slowly landed on the surface of Arcturus. The laser cannon at the bottom of the ship burned all the surrounding dense woods. Then, the ship landed on a relatively flat piece of land. Su Yan brought Lin Chinu to the hatch, and both of them were wearing a spacesuit at the moment. You know, the oxygen content of Arcturus is as high as 40%. Ordinary humans stay in such a high oxygen environment for a long time, which may cause symptoms of oxygen toxicity. Only these huge creatures of Arcturus can withstand such a high concentration of oxygen. The hatch opened slowly, and 1,000 predators were ready to go. After the hatch was opened, 1,000 iron warriors rushed out quickly. Not long after, these predators disappeared into the jungle. These predators roam the environment around Su Yan, rooting out potential dangers for him. Roar! At this moment, a huge interstellar beast sticks its head out from the primitive jungle. Lin Chinu's face was pale when she saw the huge stature of this interstellar beast that was dozens of meters high. With such a huge creature, it is estimated that his small body is no more than a gap between his teeth. But the next second, something even more shocking happened to her. Several plasma cannons flew out of the jungle ground, and instantly penetrated the head of the giant beast. Boom! With a loud noise, the entire ground shook because of the behemoth's fall. Seeing the giant beast falling, Su Yan also issued an order calmly. Leave 100 predators to collect food and water, and the others follow me. After the order was given, there was also a rustling sound in the jungle. Several predators suddenly appeared in front of Su Yan, with some blood on their bodies. Seeing these predators suddenly appear in front of them, Lin Chinu couldn't help but be shocked. Invisibility cloak. Are these soldiers actually wearing invisibility cloaks? At this moment, Lin Chinu understood that his optical invisibility cloak was nothing in the eyes of these predators. Lead the way. Su Yan's words pulled Lin Chinu back from her shock. Under Su Yan's intimidation, Lin Chinu also obediently led the way. As for whether Lin Chinu thought about the idea of running away on the road, what a joke. This is Arcturus, a place full of all kinds of interstellar beasts. Although Lin Chinu is timid, she is not stupid. If you leave Su Yan's side, these interstellar beasts can tear him to shreds in minutes. Although Su Yan kept intimidating himself, staying by his side was at least not life-threatening. Roar! Suddenly, a roar of a beast came from the depths of the jungle. When Lin Chinu heard this voice, she immediately hid behind Su Yan. Su Yan pulled it out. Lead the way, there are predators around, no beasts will come near. Although there are many giant beasts on Arcturus, facing the predator with various high-tech equipment and superb combat experience, these giant beasts are no different from ordinary beasts. Seeing that Su Yan showed no pity for Shangxiu, Lin Chinu also pouted. Although his heart was full, Lin Chinu didn't dare to speak up, and stayed with Su Yan obediently to the coordinate area. After a while, they passed through a jungle. In an instant, a jungle clearing appeared in front of them. In their field of vision, a small relic covered with vines appeared above the open space. This small relic was covered with vines, and if it wasn't for such a close distance, it would be impossible to find this relic. Su Yan raised the tech watch in his hand, and the tech watch began to scan the ruins in front of him. But after scanning for a long time, Su Yan found that the ruins could not be scanned by instruments at all. In other words, the material used in this ruin can shield the scanning of radio waves. Interesting. No wonder it hasn't been discovered until now. It seems that there is something in this ruin. Su Yan summoned a predator, and under his command, the predator also walked towards the gate of the ruins. I saw that predator stretched out his right hand, and a wrist blade popped out directly. Brush. With a single operation, the predator cut off all the vines at the gate of the ruins. Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu next to him. How did you know that there would be this ruin on Arcturus? I heard from my eldest brother, and he also bought the news from other interstellar aliens. I originally planned to come here to explore after I have a fleet. Having said that, Lin Chinu also looked at Su Yan timidly. Su Yan smiled. It turns out that this little girl still has such an idea. However, now this ruin is cheap. After walking into the ruins, Su Yan couldn't help but narrow his eyes, because the door of the ruins in front of him was closed, obviously requiring some kind of key to open it. Seeing this, Su Yan also raised his hand, and the predator next to him also immediately understood. The shoulder cannon was ready, and the plasma shells bombarded directly on the gate of the ruins. Boom! With a loud bang, under Lin Chinu's horrified gaze, the gate of the ruins in front of him was directly blasted open by the predator. Lin Chinu couldn't help swallowing a mouthful of saliva, but fortunately she didn't resist at first. If these predators had used this plasma cannon against themselves, they would have turned into a corpse by now. A predator walks ahead, clearing Su Yan from potential threats in the ruins. After the danger was eliminated, Su Yan officially stepped into the ruins. After entering the ruins, the first thing that catches your eye is a series of murals. The paintings on the murals show the evolution of a civilized race. Su Yan looked at the murals in front of him and couldn't help but feel a little surprised. Has there ever been a civilization on Arcturus? Ding! Check-in location detected. Arcturus civilization ruins. Do you want to sign in? While Su Yan was still admiring the mural, the sign-in system suddenly popped up. Sign in. Decisive to sign in. How can you hesitate at this time? Ding! Congratulations on getting the Super Soldier Serum, Black Panther armor. After signing in this time, he actually got 2 rewards in one go. Su Yan took out the Super Soldier Serum from the system space. Super Soldier Serum. The system-improved Super Soldier Serum can greatly improve physical fitness after use without side effects. After taking a look at the introduction, Su Yan also decided to use the Super Soldier Serum. From the rewards obtained by checking into the location, Su Yan can be sure that the ruins are definitely not as simple as they thought. At this time, it is the right way to use Super Soldier Serum as soon as possible to enhance one's physical fitness. Congratulations on your successful use of Super Soldier Serum, Strength plus 50, Physique plus 50. After using the Super Soldier Serum, Su Yan could feel a warm current flowing through her internal organs. Under the transformation of this warm current, his body also became stronger and stronger. At this time, Lin Chinu was obsessed with the content of the mural, and did not notice any changes in Su Yan next to her. Su Yan turned on his tech watch again, and at this time checked his body data again, and the attribute panel that appeared in the watch was no longer the same. Name: Su Yan. Race: humans of the solar system. Psionic value: 100/100. Power: 62. Physique: 60. Spirit, 20. Skills: A-class ship driving technology, A-class ship engineering maintenance technology, A-class ship combat technology. Holding ship, S-class Hyperion. His strength and physique points have both reached 60 points. Such a value, although compared to some fighting races in the universe, is still a little weak. But with the Black Panther armor, Su Yan can be regarded as a bit of self-protection. Su Yan clenched her fists, feeling the power transmitted from her body. At this moment, Lin Chinu next to him seemed to have discovered something from the mural. This mural seems to record the history of the White Knight clan. The characters on it look like members of the White Knight clan. I once checked the information about the White Knight clan in the Jupiter Library. The members of the White Knight clan are all excellent shinicists. But after that, the Bai Yi clan seemed to have violated some taboo, and then they were blocked by the entire Shanghai and finally disappeared. Looking at those murals, Lin Chinu was even more sure. This may be the place where the Bai Yi clan fell. Thinking of this, Lin Chinu couldn't help but be moved. You must know that the former Bai Yi clan were famous shinicists in the Sea of Stars. If they could find their legacy, she might be able to become a shinicist. Su Yan looked at Sylvia Lin, who was excited, and he also touched his chin. Is it the fallen place of the White Knight clan? It seems that his luck is not bad, and he has heard rumors about this White Knight clan. If you can find some psychic creations here, you will make a lot of money. In all kinds of markets, psychic creations are hard currency. On the other side, another entrance to the ruins. Several alien creatures wearing high-tech equipment came to the gate of the ruins. They are wearing some standard equipment, and they are marked with the same logo on their chests. This logo represents their identity, the treasure hunters of the Interstellar mercenary group. In the periphery of Shanghai, the reputation of the treasure hunter mercenary group is relatively loud. Because the boss of their mercenary group is a real shinicist. A shinicist, in the periphery of Shanghai, is a Superman-like existence. It is precisely because of this that the mercenary group of treasure hunters is active in various interstellar spaces, and people's colors change. Is this the place where the Bai Yi clan fell? Hey, I'm going to make a fortune this time. The Bai Yi clan were the psionic races that roamed in the inner sea of Shanghai. If we can find a psionic seed in it, we will be rich. What are you thinking? If you have psionic seeds, you will not be spared. At this moment, the leading mercenary raised his hand. In an instant, a trace of thunder power burst out from his fingertips. Quiet. As soon as these words came out, everyone fell silent. The mercenary headed by them is the leader of their treasure hunters. Reno, the birdman with the power of thunder. Birdman Reno glanced at the mercenaries behind him, and those mercenaries did not dare to make any noise, for fear of angering their boss. Seeing that the members of the mercenary group behind him stopped making noise, Reno Birdman glanced at the groove on the gate of the ruins. Then, he took out a disc-shaped creation from his arms. On this disc-shaped creation, there is a faint psychic power. Clearly, the disc was a psionic creation. Under the urging of the disc, the gate of the ruins also opened with a bang. Seeing that the gate of the ruins opened, the members of the treasure hunter mercenary group, who had been very quiet just now, began to be restless again. After all, this is the relic of the psychic race, the White Knight race. It was completely different from the backcountry they had explored before, as long as they could bring out a psychic creation. The star coins they get after the sale are enough for them to be unrestrained for a lifetime. Seeing that the members of the mercenary group were restless, Birdman Raynor did not continue to suppress them. This is the place where the Bai Yi clan fell. Remember our mission this time. The employer asked us to bring back the altar scroll of the White Knight clan no matter what. As for other things in this place, as long as you bring the altar scroll back, we can deal with the things here. Hearing this sentence, the eyes of all the members of the mercenary group burst into light. They can't wait. Birdman Renault waved his hand, and several members of the mercenary group rushed directly into the ruins. Several members of the relatively calm mercenary regiment brought holographic thermal imaging equipment and entered the ruins with laser guns. Birdman Raynor, as the leader, finally entered the ruins. After entering the ruins, Birdman Raynor also took out the map. Go this way. The members of the mercenary group also followed the Birdman Renault, heading towards the depths of the ruins. At this time, the Birdman Renault glanced around. The mercenary member next to him asked with some doubts, "What's wrong, boss?" Birdman Renault glanced at the surrounding walls. For some reason, he felt as if someone was watching him just now. "Is it an illusion? It's okay, move on." The mercenary group continued to go deep into the ruins, and just after they left, a space behind them was distorted. I saw a predator emerge from the corner. This predator was ordered to explore the ruins, and who knew that he happened to meet the treasure hunter mercenary group. And this predator didn't take the plunge. Because the number of these treasure hunter mercenary groups is less than 100 people, and everyone is equipped with excellent equipment. Although the predators claim to be excellent fighters, they also understand that in the face of a large number of mercenary groups, it is the best choice to temporarily retreat. Bravery and death are not the same concept at all. And, according to their previous conversations, this mercenary group has a map of the ruins, and if they follow them, they may be able to find the treasure in the deepest part of the ruins. Su Yan on the other side also received a message from the predator. Treasure hunter mercenary group. I heard that their leader, Birdman Rainer, is a Chinicist. Su Yan has also heard a little about the treasure hunter mercenary group. After all, in the outer seas, the existence of a Chinicist is enough to be noticed by everyone. However, the treasure hunter mercenary group has come here. It shows that there are indeed good things in this ruins. Thinking of this, Su Yan also showed a smile. Immediately afterwards, Su Yan gave orders to the other predators, and all the predators began to approach the area where the treasure hunter mercenary group was located. Su Yan also began to approach the depths of the ruins according to the information provided by the predator. This is the relic of the Bai clan, and there may be some precious treasures in it. Su Yan is not the kind of generous person who gives away good things for nothing. Through one passage after another, Su Yan finally came to the central area of the ruins. A huge alloy gate appeared in front of Su Yan, compared to the old and dilapidated walls around it. The door in front of you is full of metal and technology textures. Seeing this, Su Yan also secretly said, "Sure enough, letting the treasure hunter mercenary group lead the way was the right choice. This gate is made of alloy. With the attack of the predator, it is not necessarily able to open this gate. In the hands of these treasure hunter mercenary groups, they may hold the key to open the door." Just when Su Yan was still thinking about what was in the center of the ruins, a loud noise came directly from the door. Boom! A violent explosion sounded, and the entire ruins began to tremble because of the explosion. A strong smell of gunpowder smoke penetrated into Su Yan's nose through the space suit. After Lin Chinu heard the violent sound, she immediately hid behind Su Yan. Su Yan glanced at her and let her hide behind him. And Su Yan walked into the gate slowly. When he entered the space inside the gate, he couldn't help being shocked by the scene in front of him. The space in front of you is a space full of technology, and the interior space is incompatible with the outside scenery. Above the ground at the gate, some broken stones caught Su Yan's attention. Su Yan picked up one of the stones and saw incomprehensible symbols inscribed on the stone. At this time, Lin Ching stood up from behind Su Yan. After she glanced at the symbol on the stone, her eyes lit up. This is the rune of the psionic puppet used by the White Knight clan. I have seen the rune of this psionic puppet in the book. Sure enough, here are the relics of the Bai clan, and these psionic puppets must be the guards who guard the treasure. Lin Ching had a triumphant expression, as if waiting for Su Yan to praise her. But Su Yan didn't speak, instead he threw the gravel in his hand. It seems that the fragments scattered on the ground are fragments of psionic puppets. Those mercenaries are a little capable, but they solved these psionic puppets so quickly. The sound of the explosion just now was probably also the movement of those mercenaries and psionic puppets fighting. Boom! There was another loud noise, and Su Yan's eyes were attracted. Go and see. In the Hall of Ruins, several psionic puppets woke up from their slumber. The mercenaries of the treasure hunter mercenary group also looked ugly when they saw the psionic puppets stand up. Wait, why is there still more? One of the mercenaries changed the energy ammo, and then raised the laser gun in his hand. A large number of laser bullets spewed out from the firearms of the mercenary group like a torrential rain. The densely packed lasers fell on the psionic puppet, and the coarse bar in the middle of the psionic puppet's head glowed faintly. Whoosh! The next second, a beam of psionic laser landed directly on the mercenary group. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and several mercenaries were directly vaporized by the psionic laser. Seeing the death of their companions, the other mercenaries also paled. They did not expect that even after the death of these white knights, the psionic puppets they left behind still maintained their amazing fighting power. Now, they panic. If more psionic puppets appear in the future, they can't bear the loss at all. Boss, we've lost more than 20 brothers, and we can't move on. One of the mercenaries shouted to the Birdman Renault, and the Birdman Renault also gritted his teeth. The Dark Elf didn't tell them that such a tricky psionic puppet would exist in this ruin. Thinking of this, the Birdman Renault also gritted his teeth. The next second, endless thunder burst out from his palm. A thunder net immediately appeared in the hall, and these psionic puppets were blocked in place by the thunder net. Now, retreat. I still don't know how many psionic puppets to face next, and the Birdman Renault dare not gamble. The more than 100 brothers under his command are all his belongings. If it is lost here, it will not be easy to build it again in the future. But at this moment, the retreating mercenary group collided with Su Yan. Birdman Reynolds instantly raised his guard. Are there other people in this ruin? And Su Yan also saw the scene of the mercenary group retreating, and couldn't help but chuckle. He originally planned to use the hand of the mercenary group to weaken the strength of the guards. It seems that the strength of these mercenary groups is still too weak. How did you get in? Birdman Reynolds took up the laser gun and aimed at Su Yan. And one of the mercenaries under him glanced at the psionic puppet behind him. And those psionic puppets directly shredded the power grid made by Birdman Reynolds and attacked them. Boss, why are you talking nonsense with this human monkey? That ghost is coming after me. One of the mercenaries directly chose to aim and fire. Those mercenaries fired without hesitation. Seeing this, Su Yan directly activated the Black Panther armor, and the Black Panther armor instantly covered his whole body. Immediately afterwards, Su Yan directly stood in front of Lin Chinu. Several lasers landed on the Black Panther armor, and an energy barrier was raised on the surface of the Black Panther armor, absorbing all the laser energy. Seeing this scene, those mercenaries were stunned. And this time, Su Yan clapped his hands. I was thinking, with your hands, to clear these ruins guards. But you are so disappointing to me. As soon as the words fell, hundreds of predator appeared in the hall. These hundreds of predators suddenly appeared, directly terrifying those mercenaries. Even the Birdman Renault was sweating coldly from his back, no wonder he felt as if someone was watching him just now. When are these guys ambushing around them? In the next second, the shoulder cannons of hundreds of predators rose, and hundreds of plasma cannons landed directly on the psionic puppet. The psionic puppet was directly bombarded into pieces. After seeing the power of these predator warriors, many members of the mercenary group couldn't help swallowing. One of the members of the mercenary group just raised the laser gun in his hand. In the next second, a predator instantly pulled out a shuriken from behind. Whoosh! The cold light suddenly appeared, and the shuriken directly decapitated the mercenary. Seeing this scene, many mercenaries were immediately terrified. Even the Birdman Rainer couldn't help but put down the weapon in his hand and raised his hands. He can be sure that the combat power of these monsters is even stronger than some regular troops. No matter how powerful the treasure hunter mercenary group is, it is just a mercenary group, and there is still a big gap compared with the regular army. Many mercenaries put down their weapons one after another, and Su Yan also sent a predator forward to collect these weapons. And at this time, Birdman Renault said, "What are you going to do with us? Kill us, or give it to the Star Alliance." The mercenary group is called the mercenary group if it sounds good, but if it sounds bad, they are no different from the interstellar pirates. Among the mercenary unions, there are many interstellar pirates. There are also some outlaws who join mercenary groups in order to earn stars. The mercenary group is an extremely chaotic organization in the Shanghai. The Birdman Rainer was formerly the leader of the Thunderbird Pirates. However, after hearing that he was beaten up in the inner sea, he ran back to the outer sea in despair. In the open sea, he established a mercenary group of treasure hunters. Of course, this matter is irrelevant to Su Yan. What Su Yan cares most about now is what treasures exist in the ruins in front of him. He had already seen the power of those psionic puppets just now, if there were not so many predator. It is really difficult for him to deal with these psionic puppets alone. Now, these psionic puppets are dealt with. Su Yan came to the Birdman Renault. Give me the key to this ruin. According to the news delivered by the predator, the Birdman Renault holds the key to this ruin. Only this key can open the last door. Birdman Renault glanced at the predator around, and saw that he took his hand into his arms. Afterwards, a disc-shaped key was held in the palm of the hand by the Birdman Reynolds. Seeing this, Su Yan also walked in to get the key. Suddenly, a series of thunder and lightning burst out from the Birdman Renault. The next second, Birdman Reynolds grabbed the laser gun on the ground. Su Yan sneered. Wearing a Black Panther armor, he punched the Birdman Renault directly. Boom! With a muffled sound, the Birdman Renault was directly smashed into the wall by Su Yan. Birdman Renault spit out a mouthful of blood. He didn't expect Su Yan, a human, to have such a quick reaction ability. But at this time, the Birdman Renault took out a stone inscribed with a psionic rune. This hatred, I remember it. After all, the Birdman Renault directly crushed the stone of the psionic rune. In the next second, the figure of the Birdman Renault disappeared. The surrounding predators rushed over, but they were empty. Su Yan glanced at the place where Reno the Birdman disappeared, and was a little surprised. If he just read it right, the thing he used should be the psionic product teleportation stone. A teleportation stone on the market sells for hundreds of millions of stars. It's not a shame that he's a guy who has been in the inland sea, and there are endless means of escape in his hand. Captain, what to do with the rest of the people? All killed. Hearing this sentence, those mercenaries suddenly turned ashen. There is an old saying in Blue Star, the hearts of those who are not of our race must be different. Humans are not treated well in the Sea of Stars. When these aliens see their first faces, they call them human monkeys. From the moment he chose to fire, he didn't put Su Yan's life in his eyes at all. That being the case, Su Yan naturally wouldn't respect his life. In the Shanghai world, the strong are respected, and the weak eat the strong. Su Yan turned his back, and along with a series of screams, the predator dragged away all the bodies of the mercenaries and destroyed them. When Lin Chinu saw the beheaded mercenaries, her face paled. But at this time, Su Yan was not in the mood to take care of her. I saw that he put the disc key on the gate, and the last gate opened with it. When Su Yan saw the scene in front of her, she couldn't help being shocked. Because what was placed in front of him was actually a bridge. In other words, the relic under their feet is actually an interstellar ship buried deep in the ground. Good guy, I didn't expect that the body of this relic is actually a Bai clan ship. Su Yan went directly to the bridge and put the disc key into the control panel of the bridge. The bridge control panel is also instantly unlocked. Welcome to the Bai transport ship. Soon, the data about the White Knight also appeared in front of Su Yan. Ship name, White Knight. Ship type, transport ship. Ship class, A class. Ship owner, none. Is it a transport ship? Su Yan was also a little disappointed after seeing the ship type. After all, the biggest role of a transport ship is to transport goods or people. However, this ship is also an A-class ship, but it can be added to its own escort system. Su Yan activated the disc key and began to hand over the authority of the ship to himself. Ship authority is being transferred. Successful handover. Welcome, Captain. Opening the ship's properties panel again, Su Yan successfully obtained all the permissions of the White Knight ship. After Su Yan obtained all the permissions, he found that there was something incredible in this cargo ship. This White Knight has been moored on this planet for more than tens of thousands of years. For tens of thousands of years, the White Knight was still running unharmed. Su Yan couldn't help but sigh at the superb technology level of the Bai clan, but the high-tech ship finally fell into his hands. According to the ship's log records, it was this ship that carried the last White Knight clan to Arcturus. Afterwards, they survived on this planet. The appearance of these giant beasts on Arcturus is also a means for the Bai clan to cover up their existence. But with the passage of time, many Bai clans have entered a state of hibernation in order to save energy. According to the guide of the log, Su Yan came to the bottom of the cargo ship. When he came to the dormant room at the bottom, he couldn't help but be shocked by the sight in front of him. The sleeping cabin in front of him was already full of skeletons. These Bai Yi clan still failed to survive in the long years. And Su Yan went all the way to the last dormant capsule. When he saw the sleeping cabin in front of him, his face showed a hint of surprise. Because the sleep cabin in front of me shows that it is still running. In other words, there are still living Bai Yi clan in this dormant cabin. Hiss. If this news is released, it is estimated that the entire Shanghai will explode. The sinful race in the ancient times, the White Knight race, has not been completely wiped out. Su Yan wiped off the thick layer of dust on the dormant cabin. Through the glass on the dormant cabin, Su Yan could see clearly the scene in the dormant cabin. When Su Yan saw the White Knight clan in the dormant cabin, he couldn't help but be attracted by the White Knight clan. I saw a girl with a cold and delicate face like a porcelain doll lying tightly in it, and her long hair like silver threads spread out. She just lay there quietly, as pure and holy as the sleeping beauty in a fairy tale. Su Yan was also stunned for a moment. Are all the people of the Bai Yi clan so handsome? At this moment, Sleeping Beauty in the dormant cabin opened her eyes. A pair of sapphire-like eyes, without any impurities, looked at Su Yan outside the dormant cabin. Su Yan didn't expect that she would wake up suddenly, and at this time, the dormant cabin also made a sound. Hearing this sound, Su Yan also took a few steps back. The dormant cabin slowly opened, and at this time, the silver-haired girl had a pair of small and exquisite bare feet like agar in the depths. But then, her toes dipped into the void. A psychic power burst out from her body. Different from the psionic energy that the Birdman Rainer erupted, this psionic power is stronger and purer. Almost in an instant, several predator warriors showed their stature. The shoulder cannon was aimed at the silver-haired girl in front of her, and even the weapon in her hand was ready to go. Is this the power of the natural Shinicist family, the White Knights? Su Yan didn't expect that he would be able to come into contact with such a powerful Shinicist in the open sea. Looking at the silver-haired girl in front of him, Su Yan also narrowed his eyes slightly, and his heart was also more vigilant. According to rumors, a powerful Shinicist is enough to change the outcome of a war of 10,000 people alone. Although Su Yan has seen a limited number of Shinicists, it is certain that every Shinicist is not as powerful as the silver-haired girl in front of him. At this time, the silver-haired girl looked at Su Yan. An ethereal voice passed directly into Su Yan's mind. Are you the new captain of the White Knight? You don't need to worry, I won't hurt you. The meaning of my existence is to protect the Zerg altar in the White Knight from being taken away. As long as you don't touch the Zerg altar, I will not be your enemy. On the contrary, I will assist you in guarding the White Knight. As soon as the voice fell, Su Yan received a system prompt. Ding, Bai Yi clan, Bai Ying, asked to be your crew member, do you agree? And such a good thing. Not only did you gain an A-class cargo ship for nothing, but also a Shinicist crew. For Su Yan, this is tantamount to falling pie from the sky. Agree. Why not agree? Ding, congratulations, you have successfully obtained the first crew member. After Bai Ying becomes Su Yan's crew, the attribute panel of Bai Ying can be displayed in Su Yan's technology watch. I don't know if I don't see it, Su Yan thought to himself after seeing Bai Ying's attributes. In terms of value, Bai Ying's value is much stronger than an A-class cargo ship. Name, White Warbler. Race, White Knight race. Psionic value, 50,000 50,000. Strength, 20. Physique, 20. Spirit, 500. Talent, Ancient Sinner. When the ancient race encounters her, her favorability is reduced by 100 points. Guardian of the White Knight. When you are the captain of the White Knight, your loyalty will be 100 points of loyalty, and you will gain S-class ship driving skills. Zerg Mortal Enemy. When you join the Zerg camp, its loyalty will become minus 100 points of immortality, and the combat effectiveness will increase by 100% when fighting Zerg. Shinicist. Possess S-level psionic talent. When imparting psionic energy, the person being taught will gain additional experience. The Last Fire Passer. The last survivor of the White Knight clan, the chance of multiple births is increased. Loyalty, 100. Good guy, no doubt as a psionic race, physical fitness and ordinary human beings are undoubtedly. But its psionic energy value is actually 500 times his own. This number is really terrifying. However, As long as she is still the captain of the White Knight, her loyalty will always remain at 100 points. Bai Ying is the so-called Zerg altar on this White Knight. Before, Su Yan had heard from the Predator that the reason why these treasure hunter mercenaries came here was that they were hired to find something. And this thing is very likely to be the Zerg altar. Who is it? Need a Zerg altar. Su Yan has learned about the horror of the Zerg in the history text. The Zerg crisis broke out tens of thousands of years ago, and almost half of the races in the Qinghai were destroyed. It was still several ancient empires who made joint efforts to reseal the Zerg back into the subspace. Who would actually want to unleash this horrible thing? That's right, now the core of the Zerg altar is in the bridge room of this cargo ship. Tens of thousands of years ago, my tribe was bewitched and built a Zerg altar to summon the Zerg, thus committing a heinous crime. Now, I must protect the core of the Zerg altar, and I must not let the Zerg reappear. Speaking of things about the Zerg, Bai Ying's originally calm face also showed a hint of anger. It seemed that she really hated the Zerg. At this time, Su Yan raised a question. Then why don't you just destroy the core of the Zerg altar? No, once these Zerg altar cores are destroyed, they will reform elsewhere in Qinghai. It is not that the people of the White Knight clan have not tried to destroy the core of the Zerg altar. But the core of this Zerg altar is an evil thing from the warp after all. Now, it is still too difficult to destroy it by their means alone. After Su Yan listened to Bai Ying's words, an eye grew in her heart. Unexpectedly, the Zerg still has a chance to make a comeback. Thinking of this, Su Yan also decided to protect the core of this Zerg altar. Because he knew very well that if the Zerg made a comeback, even he would suffer. The Zerg in the historical records not only have super reproduction ability, but the planet occupied by them will be corrupted and become a piece of fleshy soil. It took the entire Star Sea race thousands of years to seal it back into the subspace. If now, they make a comeback, the entire Qinghai will fall into endless war. Just when Su Yan was thinking about how to deal with the core of the Zerg altar, the entire White Knight suddenly shook. Warning, the White Knight is under attack. Warning, the White Knight is under attack. Warning, the White Knight is under attack. ... There was a rapid sound from the ship system, and Su Yan's technology watch also popped up a reminder. Su Yan immediately returned to the ship and turned on the ship scan function of the White Knight. At this time, he found that a C-class firepower ship was circling above the White Knight. And this C-class firepower ship is carrying out an indiscriminate bombing attack on the White Knight. Su Yan frowned. Ship attacked. Through the ship screen, Su Yan also saw the screen of the C-class firepower ship. I saw that the hull of the C-class firepower ship was sprayed with the pattern of the treasure mercenary group. The ship of the treasure mercenary group. Birdman Reynolds guy hasn't left yet. On the C-class firepower ship, Thunder, the Birdman Renault was covered in bandages, and the anger in his eyes almost burst out. Human monkey, how dare you threaten me? Fortunately, I have a teleportation stone. Everyone, aim at the ruins for me and raise me to the ground. All the firepower is turned on for me. I can't do it, no matter how powerful this guy is. Can he be stronger than missiles? At this time, Birdman Rainer doesn't care whether the target item in the ruins will be damaged or not. Now, he has only one goal, and that is to kill Su Yan. Countless missiles were released from the muzzle of the Thunder, and the terrifying firepower exploded a series of fires directly on the ground. Birdman Renault laughed loudly. No matter how strong it is, there is a fart, human monkey. In the end, you still fell under the fire of my ship. But at this moment, the laughter of Birdman Renault stopped abruptly. Among the countless fragments of ruins, the metal shell of the White Knight was gradually exposed. After seeing the outer shell of this ship, the Birdman Renault was stunned. A-class ships. The body of this relic is actually an A-class ship. Birdman Renault felt as if his heart was bleeding when he learned of this at this moment. At this moment, the Bai took off with a bang. It was because the Thunder bombed all the soil above the Bai that the Bai could take off perfectly. Seeing the Bai take off, the Birdman Reynolds looked hideous. What are you still doing? Sink it for me. If I can't get it, no one else can get it. As soon as these words came out, the mercenary members on the ship immediately turned on the firepower mode. A large number of missiles spewed out from the Thunder's artillery, and even the machine gun turret on the Thunder turned its muzzle to aim at the White Knight. The Thunder itself is a firepower ship. After the refit of the Birdman Renault, its firepower is also close to the B-class ship. At this moment, in the White Knight, Lin Chinu hugged her head and curled up in the corner. It's over, we're going to be sunk. I'm still young, I don't want to die yet. Su Yan, think of a way. Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu, who was curled up like a quail in the corner, and said lightly, it's useless, it's still not sure who will kill the deer. As soon as the voice fell, the light of the entire Bai became dim. At this time, the Thunder stopped attacking. Birdman Renault forgot to issue orders for a while after seeing the behemoth in front of him. Is this an S-class ship? Birdman Renault would never have thought that he would encounter an S-class ship in the open sea. The Hyperion arrives, and Su Yan controls the Hyperion with a technical watch. I saw a strong energy glow from the muzzle of the Hyperion's bow. And after seeing the energy radiance emanating from the Yamato cannon, Renault, the Birdman in the Thunder, a bad premonition rose in his heart. Quickly evade. Birdman Raynor looked at the huge gun barrel on the bow of the Hyperion, and couldn't help but have a premonition of death in his heart. Many mercenary members were also sweating coldly behind their backs. After reacting, they immediately controlled the Thunder, trying to escape the attack of Yamato cannon. But Su Yan sat in the White Knight and smiled faintly. Yamato cannon, fire, boom. With a huge beam of light directly rushing out of the barrel, the Yamato gun containing huge energy directly drowned the Thunder. Immediately afterwards, Yamato cannon rushed all the way through several mountain peaks. Finally, with a loud bang, a mushroom cloud rose above the distant sky. In the White Knight, Bai Ying and Lin Ching also saw the launch of the Yamato cannon for the first time. There was a hint of surprise in Bai Ying's blue eyes. Such a terrifying artillery. Even in the Bai Yi clan in the whole body period, there are only a few ships that can achieve such amazing destructive power. But Lin Qinyu's eyes were completely excited. This is too awesome. I thought the ship was just a bit bigger. Su Yan also sighed helplessly when she heard this. This Hyperion is the crystallization of the wisdom of the Tyranid Empire, and the current Hyperion is not yet in its heyday. When the Hyperion was equipped with all the black technologies, the power of the Hyperion at that time was much stronger than it is now. After the bombing of the Yamato cannon, the original Thunder is now only a tattered wreck. This level of damage, even the most superb boatman in the Sea of Stars has no way to repair it. Su Yan operated the White Knight's panel and programmed the White Knight into the Hyperion's escort system. This time, under Arcturus, I picked up an A-class ship for nothing, and also obtained a Chinoist crew. For Su Yan, this harvest is already a good one. Immediately afterwards, Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu and gave a wicked smile. I don't know what secrets this girl has hidden on her body. If there is a chance, she must be handed over. What are you staring at me for? Lin Chinu, who was eating in the restaurant, was like a little hamster, constantly stuffing things into her mouth. At this time, she seemed to feel Su Yan's gaze, and looked over with a confused look. After this Arcturus experience, Lin Qinyu's fear of Su Yan was also greatly reduced. In Lin Qinyu's eyes, although this guy Su Yan often bullies himself, but there is no life-threatening danger to stay by his side. Su Yan looked at Lin Chinu, who looked blank and silly, and smiled bitterly. It's okay, eat slowly, don't choke. Lin Chinu glanced at Su Yan and continued to cook. She hasn't had a good meal since she boarded the ship. Now that I can finally eat, I naturally devoured it, for fear of not eating the last meal. Fortunately, the ship replenished enough water and food at Arcturus. There are only 3 people on board now, so don't worry about their food consumption too fast. Su Yan opened the map and started planning the next location. Originally Su Yan planned to go to the nearest storm galaxy next, but the plan couldn't keep up with the changes. The White Knight suffered some damage during the Arcturus operation. Moreover, the White Knight has been on standby on the surface of the planet for tens of thousands of years. Su Yan felt that it was necessary for the White Knight to be repaired. If there was a problem during the interstellar voyage, it would be troublesome. The nearest port is Vulcan in the Flame system. The Vulcans in the Liang galaxy are all craftsmen who are good at crafting ships, which makes Vulcan a craftsman planet where all kinds of ships gather. Even in the Venus dock factory in the solar system, there are many Vulcan craftsmen. Thinking of this, Su Yan opened the control panels of the two ships and set the coordinates of Vulcan. The target is determined. Flame Galaxy, Vulcan. Prepare for space jump. In the next second, the two ships turned into a streamer and disappeared in place. The homeworld of the Dark Elves. In a black starport made of alloy materials, the Dark Elf general looked gloomy. Just now, he received the latest news. The treasure hunter mercenary group lost the news, and the core of the Zergalter has left Arcturus and is moving at high speed in the Sea of Stars. Those despicable and dirty mercenaries, where the hell did they take the holy relics? The Dark Elf general punched the wall next to him, and a deep fist mark appeared on the wall made of alloy. The Dark Elf warrior next to him did not dare to say a word, for fear of angering his general. The Dark Elf general's face was gloomy. He thought that those mercenaries would be able to bring back the core of the Zergalter. But who would have thought that these guys actually disappeared directly? And according to their relic detectors, the relic is moving. Is this still worth thinking about? Those mercenaries most likely absconded with the holy relics. This is not the most important thing. If those vile and dirty mercenaries accidentally destroy the sacred object will disappear and be reborn somewhere in the Sea of Stars. If they were born in those dangerous places with space storms, even if they had detectors, they would not be able to get the holy relics back. Those guys can't complete such a simple task. Now the Dark Elf general has some regrets and handed over this task to those unreliable mercenaries. After thinking for a moment, the Dark Elf general gave an order coldly. Send the first team to track the holy relic. If they can't bring the holy relics back, they don't have to come back. Hearing these words, the Dark Elf soldier next to him was also nervous and quickly agreed. Afterwards, the Dark Elves' first squadron fleet rose from the starport. And this time, their goal is to go to Vulcan star in the Flame Galaxy to recover the core of the Zergalter. Su Yan on the other side didn't know yet that the Dark Elves' fleet was coming towards him. At this moment, he has come to the periphery of Vulcan. The ship was released from the space transition state, and for a while, a large number of ships also appeared around the Hyperion. Lin Chinu couldn't help but light up when she looked at the dazzling array of ships around her. Most of the ships she would never have seen in the solar system. For example, a biological ship made of flesh and blood on the side is like a beating heart. Along with the sailing of the ship, the flesh and blood on the ship also beat like a heart. There are also ships, which are like a whole crystal, looking extremely gorgeous. Vulcan is one of the few neutral planets in the outer Sea of Stars. Many alien races will maintain or repair their ships here. Ding, hello, this is the Vulcan communication channel. The dock you booked has been arranged. Please land on Dock 9 and Dock 10 in Area 66. We have arranged the best Vulcan boatmen to serve your ships. After booking the dock, Su Yan also set the automatic landing procedure. The two ships, the White Knight and the Hyperion, also landed in the docks respectively. The huge body of the Hyperion landed slowly, and the surrounding boatmen couldn't help but be amazed when they saw such a huge ship. S-class ships. My Vulcan is on top. I've received a big order today. The ship next to it is also an A-class ship. These two ships are not simple. Brothers are here to work. I haven't touched an S-class ship for a long time. Little baby, I'm here. Su Yan and Lin Chinu got off the ship, and the boatmen of Huoshengxing didn't even look at them. In the eyes of these ship madmen, ships are their love. However, it is this attitude that makes Vulcan Star's reputation extremely good. At this time, Su Yan looked up and saw dock number 8 next to him, and a ship had landed. Coincidentally, this ship was Yun Qinghan's Qian. Yun Qinghan walked out of the Kai Yan, but at this time, her face was very haggard. It seems that the interstellar voyage during this time has made her a little tired. How long will it take to fix these damages on my ship? This customer, your ship is seriously damaged. It will take at least hundreds of hours to repair, and the price is not cheap. After hearing this sentence, Yun Qinghan also waved his hand, a little impatient. Price is not a problem. At this time, Yun Qinghan looked up and saw the Hyperion next to him. Is this Su Yan's Hyperion? If it's here, doesn't it mean that Su Yan is also here? Sure enough, Yun Qinghan looked over, and Su Yan was standing beside him. And at this time, Captain Vulcan boatman also came to Su Yan's side. This customer, one of your S-class ships and an A-class ship has been checked. The S-class ship needs simple maintenance, but the other A-class ship has rusted in many parts and needs minor repairs. But don't worry, your two ships, we only need 24 hours to repair them perfectly. Here's your bill, take a look. Su Yan took the bill and couldn't help but gasp. The maintenance cost of the two ships actually cost 500,000 star coins. However, Su Yan can also understand, after all, the size of these two ships is not small. But for now, this fee is still too high. Su Yan glanced at Lin Chinu next to him, then handed the bill to Lin Chinu, go and pay. What? Lin Chinu was stunned for a moment, but she still took out her star coin card obediently. When the captain of the boatmen saw the star coin card in Lin Chinu's hand, his eyes suddenly lit up. If he read it correctly, this star coin card is rumored to be the black gold star card only after the Shanghai Bank has stored more than 10 billion star coins. This human is an out-and-out rich woman. Su Yan was stunned for a while after seeing the black gold star card. He had thought that Lin Chinu was rich, but he didn't expect that she was richer than he thought. If I don't knock her a few strokes, I feel sorry for my conscience. Lin Chinu suddenly felt cold behind her back. How could she have a bad premonition? Brush. As the black gold star card swiped on the captain's technology watch, 500,000 star coins were transferred into the captain's account. After paying the money, Lin Chinu looked at Su Yan. Why did I pay? At this time, she also found something wrong. Obviously these two ships are Su Yan's ships, why do they have to pay for the maintenance themselves? Su Yan touched her little head. These days, you spent a lot on eating and drinking on my ship. Then, that's not as much as 500,000 star coins. Lin Chinu puffed up her face, looking unconvinced. And Su Yan showed a wicked smile. Who put you on my boat? Hearing this sentence, Lin Chinu suddenly became dumbfounded. Now she began to regret again. How did she end up in this villain's boat? At this time, Yun Qinghan also came over. Long time no see, Su Yan. Su Yan glanced at Yun Qinghan. Long time no see. The two had a brief chat, and then Su Yan also took Lin Chinu to hang out in other places in Vulcan. And Yun Qinghan glanced at Su Yan's ships, an S-class Hyperion and an A-class Bai. The two ships, no matter which ship they are more advanced than their own Qian. Thinking of this, Yun Qinghan couldn't help but regret for a while. If she hadn't treated Su Yan that way, their relationship might have been much better than it is now. On the other hand, Su Yan had no intention of caring about Yun Qinghan's innermost thoughts. He and Yun Qinghan went directly to Vulcan Star's largest shopping mall. Lin Chinu is a girl after all. After coming here, she seems to be like a fish in water, and she keeps buying and buying. Fortunately, when I went out, I brought a few predators as bodyguards. In this case, he wouldn't be a coolie for her. Su Yan followed Lin Chinu all the way, and at this moment, the voice of the system sounded in his mind again. Ding, check-in location detected, Vulcan. Do you sign in? Sign in. Ding, congratulations on your success in obtaining 1,000 iron pilots, 100 battle titans. Oh, the sign-in reward this time made Su Yan a little surprised. Not to mention the 1,000 iron pilots and 100 battle titans, this is too cool. You know, in the fall of the titans, the combat power of each titan is enough to shock the opposing troops. Moreover, this time, it was actually 100 battle titans in one breath. With these battle titans, he also has heavy weapons in ground combat. In this way, even if you encounter heavy armor, you can still have the power to fight. The appearance of the battle titan can be regarded as making up for his shortcomings in heavy armor. For a time, Su Yan was also in a good mood. System, where are these battle titans now? 1,000 iron pilots are now sleeping in the dormant cabin of the Hyperion and can be awakened at any time. 100 battle titans are currently in the airborne compartment of the White Knight, and they can call the White Knight for airborne at any time. Very good. I was just curious, the size of 100 battle titans is not too small. Where would they be arranged? Unexpectedly, the advantage of the White Knight as a cargo ship was highlighted at this moment. Vulcan is an extremely diurnal planet, and their planet's rotation speed is extremely slow. Generally, the daytime of Vulcan can reach 168 hours. The night is also the same time, which allows the Vulcans to maintain high-intensity work for a long time. Su Yan was resting on an open-air bench, and Lin Chinu seemed to be a little unfulfilled. The things in the Vulcan Star Mall are still not as complete as those in the Blue Star Mall. Most of the things in it are some ship parts. After saying that, Su Yan felt a chill on his face. Suddenly, Su Yan sat up, only to see Lin Chinu next to him showing a successful trick. "Hey, I bought you Vulcan's specialty, Xinguo milk tea, you can try it." It's incredible that aliens actually sell milk tea. Su Yan took the milk tea and took a sip. It tasted pretty good. After all, the tastes of different races in aliens are different, and the eating habits are also very different. There are few alien foods that meet the shrewd appetites of the blue stars. Su Yan took a sip of milk tea and looked up at the sky like the sunset glow of Vulcan. At this moment, a fleet appeared in his field of vision. The surrounding alien races also saw this fleet. After they saw this fleet, their emotions were obviously a little excited. Su Yan glanced at the fleet, which consisted of 1 A-class fireship, 2 B-class frigates, and 10 C-class frigates. It seems that it should be the official fleet of an alien race. Otherwise, with those mercenary groups or interstellar pirates alone, it would be impossible to gather such a luxurious fleet in the open sea. At this time, Lin Ching also noticed the fleet in the sky. These fleets appear to be the fleets of the Dark Elves. Dark Elf. Su Yan's eyes narrowed slightly, but he had heard rumors about the Dark Elves. The homeworld of the Dark Elves is located in the Inner Sea. To be precise, they are a branch of the Star Sea Elves. But I don't know why, these Dark Elves and Star Sea Elves are in a hostile state. Once they meet in the Sea of Stars, it is an endless situation. Moreover, compared to the arrogant Star Sea Elves, the Dark Elves are more brutal and arrogant. This makes other alien races afraid to communicate with Dark Elves easily. However, what makes Su Yan most curious is why the Dark Elves, such as the Inner Sea, come to the Outer Sea. At this moment, the fleet of Dark Elves also came to the dock. The Vulcans in the dock couldn't help frowning when they saw the Dark Elves' fleet. They have seen many races, but their distaste for the Dark Elves is undoubtedly the most. These Dark Elves landed here, and they didn't believe that these Dark Elves were there to maintain the ships. Dark Elves are arrogant by nature, and they consider other races to be inferior. In their eyes, other races even touch them, it is an insult. This also makes the reputation of the Dark Elves extremely bad in the Sea of Stars. But the Dark Elves don't care, their powerful armed forces also make other alien races dare not speak out. At this moment, the flagship of the Dark Elf fleet also opened the hatch. The Dark Elf captain came out of the ship wearing a protective mask. "Why do you want me to come to the backcountry of Vulcan to perform a mission? Just stepping on this land makes my shoes feel dirty." Hearing these words, Vulcan's boatman frowned, but glanced at the guns in the hands of the Dark Elf soldiers. The latest thermal laser gun, just one bullet is enough to penetrate 40 centimeters of steel. Faced with such a weapon, many boatmen dared to be angry but did not dare to speak. The Dark Elf captain stepped off the ship with a look of disgust, and then waved his hand. "Search for me, the holy relic we want must be in this dock." After all, several Dark Elf soldiers walked down from the ship. Seeing this scene, the captain of the Vulcan Star boatman also walked up quickly. Even though he was extremely angry in his heart, he still suppressed the anger in his heart and said with an apologetic smile, "My lord, the ships here are all deposited here by our customers. Would it be a little bad for you to open the hatches of these ships rashly?" Before he finished speaking, the Dark Elf captain took out a laser pistol from his waist and placed it on the head of the Vulcan Star ship engineer. Seeing this, the surrounding boatmen immediately pulled out weapons such as wrenches and pliers. The Dark Elf captain glanced at the captain of the boatmen, and said coldly, "Vulnerable thing, Dark Knight Empire's affairs, it's your turn to judge." As soon as these words came out, even the better-tempered captain of the boatmen couldn't bear it. "Although Vulcan is a neutral planet, we are not easy to mess with. If you shoot here today, do you think your fleet will be able to get out of Vulcan?" Hearing this sentence, the Dark Elf captain's eyes also became extremely cold. This humble Vulcan dared to threaten him. Although he was a little unhappy, the Dark Elf captain also understood. If things are too big, it will be troublesome to arouse the wrath of the Vulcan Lord. Thinking of this, the Dark Elf captain also narrowed his eyes slightly. The next second, he lifted his foot and kicked the captain of the boatman out. The Empire of the Night is doing business. After we find what we want among these ships, we will naturally leave. I advise you not to meddle in your own business. If this matter is messed up, the Dark Knight Empire doesn't mind erasing your Vulcan from the Sea of Stars. After all, the Dark Elf captain ignored the angry eyes of those Vulcans. I saw him wave his hand, and the surrounding Dark Elf warriors immediately took action. Even if every ship is dismantled for me, I have to check it inside and out. According to the detector, the holy relic is here, and the warrior I found first will be promoted to Baron. As soon as these words came out, those Dark Elf soldiers seemed to have been beaten with blood. One of the Dark Elf soldiers directly picked up the high-energy cutter next to him and violently broke the hatch of one of the ships. Other Dark Elf soldiers also started violent demolition. Ping pong pong. The whole dock was filled with the sound of metal crashing. Seeing the customer's ship destroyed, many Vulcans clenched their fists. This time, their Vulcan star's reputation was ruined. After this incident, who would dare to come to their Vulcan to repair the spacecraft in the future? Without the work of repairing ships, their Vulcans are equivalent to being cut off from their economic support. The captain of the boatmen gritted his teeth, and then said to one of the Vulcan star boatmen, "Go and inform the Lord of Vulcan." Just then, several of the Dark Elf soldiers came to Su Yan's Hyperion. Adertisement. When he saw the huge size of the Hyperion, he couldn't help gasping for air. "Captain, there is an S-class ship in this dock." S-class ships. After hearing the news, the Dark Elf captain also came over immediately. When he saw the Hyperion in front of him, there was also a flash of greed in his eyes. Randomly, the Dark Elf captain waved his hand. "Open the hatch of this ship for me, this ship has been requisitioned by our Dark Knight Empire." As soon as these words came out, the other Dark Elf soldiers immediately understood. Several Dark Elf soldiers immediately held high-energy cutting machines and began to forcibly break through the Hyperion. Warning, the Hyperion is being forcibly broken through. Su Yan, who was in the mall, also suddenly received the news. After seeing the message displayed by the tech watch, Su Yan couldn't help frowning. Wasn't the Hyperion being maintained in the dock? How can this happen? At this time, the Hyperion also passed the situation at the hatch to Su Yan. In the picture, several Dark Elf warriors are using high-energy cutters to violently remove the hatch of the Hyperion. Troops of the Dark Elves. Su Yan's face sank. How dare he rob my ship in broad daylight? Awaken the pilot and prepare for battle. Received, is waking up the pilot. In the arsenal of the Hyperion, the dormant cabin slammed open, and 1,000 pilots walked out of the dormant cabin in full armor. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.